Gentlemen, hello and welcome to the Baltic Masters. We are in week 2 and we're stepping into the round number 3. After 2 rounds last week, we have a pretty much even scoreboard. Just the team 5 Kings is ahead with 2-0 victory. They won both of their games and they are ahead of all the rest teams here. I will be your host for this event. My name is Minja, and with me today here are Michko and Saina. Guys, hello and welcome. We are doing Baltic Masters. This is week 2. We've seen 6 games last week played in 2 days. First day was which day would you say was the better day that you saw better games?
Maybe day number 2, because we saw like more teams demolishing others. First day we had like 3 games that could have ended on the both sides, and on the second day we saw Just for Fun making a really nice comeback. They played really well and they stomped their opponent. Iron Wolves managed to secure 1 win after the loss on Monday, on Tuesday, and also 5 Kings, which performed pretty good and stayed undefeated.
Yeah, they're 2-0. And we're going to go ahead and see what's on the program for today. We mentioned some of the teams here, and let's see who plays against who in day 3 of Baltic Masters. It's going to be 5 Kings versus Team Infamous. Then we're going to see Iron Wolves and Estonian Vipers. And last match will be played between Kenty and Just for Fun. Saina, which match are you most excited for?
Well, honestly, looking at 5 Kings, I mean, game number 1, pull out the Evelyn, stomp everybody, so I'm kind of excited to see what the jungler can bring. Other than that, the last game of the day, actually, both Kenty and Just for Fun, I believe they have subs. Kenty brought in a new mid laner, and Just for Fun, if I'm not mistaken, Jaxus is subbed out, and he's not yet.
No. Did you see the meme?
No,
they,
okay, which
they
one?
posted on Twitter that their jungler is gonna be subbed,
Okay.
and they put the same picture of the guy with the fake beard and glasses, and they said this is our new jungler, definitely not Jenxes.
Oh, that means
they were just memeing.
Oh, they were just memeing. Yeah, yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
yeah.
Either way, still excited to see what Kenty can do because the rest of the team was pretty good. They had issues with the mid lane, so we're gonna see if this is gonna help them out a little bit.
Do you think if Kenty started with that mid laner that's gonna come enjoy their lineup here, that they would have ended up in score-wise differently?
Not really sure because we didn't see him actually play, so we don't know how he fit into the team, how good he is with the mechanics and the picks and everything else. So, but definitely, if we think about the previous mid laner that played for Kenty, he didn't perform that much. Didn't perform at all.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to point out. That
something similar as
seems
maybe
like
on Disco for
yeah, true.
So if it's a change, so hopefully it will be a good one.
Yeah, we said for Nandisco that when you change him out, you can't like be in loser's position when you change that kind of a player. So that seems to go for a mid laner of Kenty because he really didn't perform that well based on what you guys told me and how I saw the games unravel and being played. They definitely needed a new one, so they got it. Let's go and see the scoreboard for now. For after 2 days, 5 Kings, as we mentioned here, are undefeated. They had 2-0, and then we have 3 teams following them, 4 teams actually that have 1-1 scoreboard, 1-1 on the scoreboard. It's Estonian Vipers, Infamous, Just for Fun, and Iron Wolves. And on the last position, it's Kenty. 0-2. They've lost both of their games. Just for Fun is the team that we didn't know a lot about, and based on their name, it seemed like they have gathered like 5 mates and wanted to play the league. But they've shown that they are not here just for fun.
I mean, yeah, to be fair, every team showed potential. Now, it is the question of which team is going to make it in the long run, considering that, you still have a lot of games to go. And we've seen certain teams, one game they completely int, and then the other game they actually show a very high level. So, again, it's just, you just got to raise up that average game of yours. You just have to make sure that you're playing on a high enough level just to get to the playoffs. Because, yeah, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter where you end up in that regard. You want to win the playoffs. You want to represent your region in the EU Masters. True.
Let's go and get into the lineup for our first match. It's going to be played against 5 Kings and Team Infamous. Onios, Focus, Tibor, Lakinter, and Patrek are on the side of 5 Kings. And Team Infamous, Blind Boy, Yestas is a sub for Team Infamous. Slola, Mr. Freezed, and Dingo are on the side of Infamous. Mishko, what can we see here? Do you think we're gonna see 5 Kings here stomp Infamous since 5 Kings are undefeated? We've seen them play. Do you think that they have an upper hand in this duel?
Probably. I mean, I don't really expect to see a stomp the game that ends in like 20 minutes, but I definitely want to see 5 Kings perform pretty good. To have a great lead and to close the game without any problems. Infamous, they won 1 game, but it was against Kenty, so we saw Kenty last week. Probably anybody can beat them. So I'm not really sure how good Infamous actually is at this moment. So I'll be looking forward to this game, and hopefully 5 Kings, I will be right and they'll win.
Well, we'll see. Yeah, let's go on that. Your predictions and who you think is gonna win the duel. You said 5 Kings is gonna win the duel. Do you agree, Sina, that 5 Kings is gonna win?
Yeah, 5 Kings all the way. I mean, Focus has been pretty insane. I'm gonna look out for the, for that aggressive jungle playstyle. I love seeing that, especially if you can pull out a pick that's not meta, but you still manage to do what junglers do right now, and that's constantly evading, applying the pressure, making sure your lanes are ahead. And next to that as well, I want to see 5 Kings drafting lanes with prior at least 2 out of 3, just to make sure that the jungler can do what he wants to do, just going to the jungle and create the pressure. So yeah, I'm gonna say 5 Kings, and I'm gonna give them a pretty fair percentage at like 70% for 5 Kings.
You think it's gonna their jungler is gonna get target banned? That Evelyn?
Well, you can ban Evelyn, but who knows what he can play?
Yeah, I pointed out. Yeah, wanted to point it out that when we asked him about that, he was like, if they ban Evelyn, I'll just play something else, and they don't know what I'm about to play. So, well, hopefully they ban out the Evelyn, and then we see something else. That would be, and we see him stomp their opponents like he did on Evelyn. That would be a crazy game. Let's go and see how you voted on Instagram profile of Baltic Masters. You go to the story, and then you click on the team. 57 5 Kings and 43 team Infamous. It's not 70%, but it's more than 50 or 51, 52. So audience is here on the side of 5 Kings. We'll see if 5 Kings can take here a victory and stay undefeated on the scoreboard. Ladies and gentlemen, we made a small introduction. What can we expect in this game? Game number 1 of day 3 of Baltic Masters. We are gonna go ahead and jump into the champion select.
And we are back going into draft number 1, game number 1 of the day. 5 Kings looking to that 3-0 victory streak. Meanwhile, Infamous, they're 1-1. Of course, they want to make sure they win. We saw, or rather we see 4 teams having the same exact score. So you really want to split up from that middle of the pack and just make sure that you're, heading towards the playoffs.
Yeah, and if I'm correct, today we will see a match between 2 teams that are 1-1. So
yeah.
Infamous, they do not want to lose this game because they will probably go down on the table. And I mean, making playoffs is not that big of a problem for teams in this league because they have like 6 teams and 4 teams make it. So basically, you just don't have to be the worst and the second worst team in the league. I mean, again, that can be a problem because basically you have to be top 4, which is definitely not always that easy to be seen on the Summoner's Rift. 5 Kings are on the blue side and Infamous on the red, which means that Infamous can probably take some counter picks on maybe mid lane, top lane, whichever lane they want to. First ban from 5 Kings, it will be the Kindred. Not really sure if we have seen already that Kindred from Team Infamous.
It's good into Assassins, it's really good into Evelyn, so I'm kind of keeping my hopes up. They're just banning the Kindred, they want to make sure they can get something that one-shots people, and of course Kindred can be very good against that. Volibear as well as a jungler that, he has a pretty large health pool, he can shield, he can ult, he can heal as well, so once again he can't really get one-shotted into the late game, and they're removing that as well. So honestly, I'm keeping my hopes up. TF is going to be removed as well, a champion that's, breaking through the meta. We see him more and more often in Latvia and LCK and all the other regions as well. However, once again, we're hoping to see maybe that TP Kog'Maw. We've seen it once in EBL. It won a game, 100% win rate in EBL, so why not? But yeah, still plenty more of power picks left open. The 80 carries, everything is up on the table. Ezreal is there, Aphelios is there. We've seen Ashe as well getting picked pretty often, so we're gonna see what is going to be the second ban of Infamous. And yeah, speaking of AD carries, there goes Varus.
Yeah, fun fact about Varus. Is it all secure LPL? I'm not really sure. He has 100% ban ratio. 100% in every single game he has been banned so far. So I'm not really that confused about him being constantly banned by teams. And also we will see that ban on the Ezreal. Finally we got to see something else being played on the AD carry position, because last week every single game had an Ezreal, some of them had a Veigar on the bot lane, and that's basically it. So I'm really looking forward to see what they will play besides that Ezreal and besides that Veigar. Sonas? Karner? Okay, Karner makes much more sense here, but again, 5 Kings will take the aggressive jungler. It's not the Evelyn, it's not Kane, it's not Rengar, Kha'Zix, something that is like impressive to watch, fun to watch, but Graves again, he's strong, he's aggressive, he can work always.
Yeah, we're gonna see, I mean, it's probably gonna be a dead race between picking the Aphelios and the Ashe. Those are the two, you know, meta AD carries right now, but Fiddlesticks is gonna actually get locked in.
Top lane Fiddlesticks.
Tank.
Top lane Fiddlesticks.
Do you think he's gonna be tank though? I've seen Clowny play him tank top lane. It's
people play top lane. If they pick it on the top lane, it's usually played as a tank. If he goes on support or maybe in the jungle, then yeah, AP is the.
I love the Galio as an answer to it though. As soon as Fiddle ults, Galio's ult gives you an AoE magic damage shield. It can be support, it's not that horrible into the Karma, but I would like seeing Kalista along with the Galio. It works incredibly well. You can just throw him into the enemy team, or maybe just ult him out once he ults your frontline. So honestly, I would love to see a Kalista here, but I guess they're gonna opt to go for the Senna, which is a pretty interesting draft phase so far. Galio can get flex, Senna might even be put bot in that feast lane. They might get some carry. Who knows?
Senna bot lane. I mean,
they can do a lot of things, yeah.
This looks like it's going to hurt.
No Ashe, no Aphelios. This is a very interesting draft, yeah.
Well, I expected to see some AD carry bans here, but again, Senna got some buffs. She's like being transferred to the AD carry position, so she probably is going to be played in the ADC. Also, the one thing I don't like about this Galio is the fact that he deals magic damage, and with the top lane Fiddlesticks build, he goes for the Spirit Wizard because he gets more healing, he gets enough magic resist, so Galio wouldn't do damage to him if he goes on the mid lane, or in the top lane probably, but I'm really gonna be sure that he's going to go bot lane, because if he doesn't, blind picking Galio in the mid lane or in the top lane can be a little confusing. Orianna as an answer for that Galio can work pretty good. I mean, the only problem is that she's playing again magic damage dealer into a guy that has a magic damage shield, but still her cooldowns are pretty low. She can kill Galio pretty easily, and with the support of her jungler probably he can die pretty easy. Poppy, again, good pick for the top lane, but if the Fiddlesticks go to the top lane, Poppy definitely doesn't look like something that can work.
Yeah, on the other side, I mean, yeah, if you find that Fiddlesticks ult and you just ult him where you can maybe like flash zone him, and then he can't actually jump. So there's ways to deny the Fiddlesticks, and now we're going into, you know, Fairland here, imagining all sorts of weird scenarios. We can't know until they lock in the final picks, and Veigar, something has been prominently picked here in the Baltic region. We're gonna see where they're gonna take him. Veigar, Senna bot lane is also pretty good. You have that double CC, you have that hybrid damage, physical and magic damage coming out of Veigar and Senna. You have the sustain, you have insane scaling. On both of the heroes, actually, both Senna and Veigar going for that infinite scaling. So as long as the game lasts, they're gonna get stronger and stronger. But again, you do have that problem playing into the Vayne. You don't actually want to go into the phase of the game where Vayne has 3 items, because she will shred you. It does not matter if you're a full tank Poppy rocking 1 million armor, she will kill you with the true damage.
True, although again, Senna and Veigar, that means that somebody has to play, someone will not take the farm, so I probably think that this Veigar will go on the top lane and Galio will be played on the bot. The problem with Galio being on the bot lane, he plays against Vayne. Like, she's the ultimate counter pick for the Galio. I mean, she was like back 1 year ago, maybe? When the Galio was being played in the mid lane, and players usually picked Vayne to counter pick him in the mid. So I'm not really sure if he goes bot lane how well he will work. And Shen will be picked into Poppy. Not really sure how much it works, because his only way of engaging is to hit the taunt, and with the Poppy being on the top lane, you probably will never do it. And again, if you don't land the taunt, you probably won't find enough auto attacks on that Poppy to proc the press attack, to hit the Grasp of the Undying, to hit the bonus damage from the Q. So I'm not really sure why they wanted to take Shen, besides maybe having the stand united during the whole game. And also I saw one, I don't know if I can call it a bug, but
the undo thing?
Yeah,
Shen
ulting and buying items.
It's so amazing. Yeah, for those of you that don't know, basically what people have been running right now in high-elo solo queue, well, pretty much everywhere, is once you want to ult with Shen, you recoil, you sell all your items, you buy ability power, cooldown reduction, you ult, you get a 1 million damage shield, and then you just quickly undo all the purchases, because Shen ult, since he doesn't really do damage, he doesn't cancel the undo button. So you end up with Shen having 40% CDR at like level 6, basically, and you end up having like over 1000 shield at level 1. Now, Riot hasn't officially said, you know, it's a bug, it's not a bug. Technically, it's a use of a feature. I don't think it's a bug. I mean, the ult doesn't do damage, so technically it's fair game, at least in my opinion.
I'm not really sure. I mean, I don't know. When I saw the clip about it, I was like, interesting tactic. But I'm not really sure if it's a tactic or it's like abusing enemies, because you basically recall into your base, you sell all your items, you buy AP, so your player gets like legit 100% shield, and then you have a 1 minute ulti cooldown because of the 45% CDR, and then you go back to being ultimately tanky, dealing damage. I mean, that's not really fair.
Yeah, either way, I'm pretty sure we're gonna get an answer soon enough.
I'm also not really sure that they will use it. I mean, maybe they didn't see the video, maybe they didn't see the way it works, or maybe they did, and that's why this Shen is locked. Anyway, it will be fun to watch, and again, Team Infamous, besides the Vayne, there is no much scaling on their side, so they will probably have to like completely focus on playing around that Vayne for them to be carried by her, and with Karma, with Shen, with Orianna, it looks pretty easy for them to actually support Vayne until they win the game. Again, on the side of 5 Kings, there's like nobody besides this Veigar that can actually one-shot that Vayne. Maybe Senna in the late game once she has enough items, damages, range and everything else, crit chance. Maybe she can like hit 1 or 2 auto attacks and kill Mr. Freeze. But still, with Karma, Orianna and Shen being on her side of the team, I'm not really sure how much damage 5 Kings actually can do on Mr. Freeze. First trade goes into favor of Blind Boy. Poppy decided to face check the bush, and Shen found an easy way to actually hit everything. Fiddlesticks wanted to do double buffs, double camps at level 1. It resetted, but again, his W has a really small cooldown, so it will be done without any problems. Spellbook Fiddlesticks, something that I haven't really seen, but when Flash is on cooldown, he can probably change it to Ghost, to heal, or something else that can provide him bonus movement speed, maybe a chance to live even more. So I don't really think that's a problem, that's a bad thing to do. But also, I'm kind of used to Fiddlesticks being played with that. I forgot the keystone name.
Wait, which one? Fiddlesticks?
Yeah.
The one he normally gets played with?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. To be honest, I like Phase Rush the most, but I don't think they... yeah, I don't think they play Phase Rush more. I actually think Phase Rush is the most effective thing, especially with the low cooldown on Fiddlesticks, just because you can reposition so well in your ultimate, and usually you're gonna end up getting exhausted in half of your games. You can just ignore that slow as well, but yeah, Fiddlesticks, we barely see him. He is a very all or nothing pick. You either get a lead, you one-shot people with your ult, or you fall behind and you are pretty much useless. We're gonna see if this Fiddlesticks, he's gonna end up getting a lead. Does have that fear when he throws a spell, when he's not seen, but right now, of course, the vision is placed. Lakinter and Patrick just shoving in, using that sustain. Slola has no mana at all. Now, he might just place the ward, but again, he's gonna try to bait this Fiddlesticks. And he didn't have damage, no, but still, they forced the flash.
Yeah, he forced the flash. I mean, focus a little bit too baited. Again, Slola had like 0 mana and there was no reason for Oriana to be there, but again, they can kill Focus here. Here comes the heal from the Five Kingdoms bot lane, and that will be the first blood. Again, Focus can get a double kill, or maybe there will be a Tibur taking that kill, maybe not. Focus getting 2 kills in the beginning of the game. I'm not really sure why Infamous wanted to fight. I mean, you baited Graves to force his flash, just go back to the lane and like AFK farm. Don't focus on killing the Graves now that he doesn't have flash. And with the rotation coming in from the bot lane, Infamous didn't have a chance at this point of the fight. There is a good stun from the Veigar and Focus. He can deal good damage, but still no range for that. Poppy will find a way to cancel this taunt. She got hit anyway, but Shen didn't do much damage from that Q out attacks. So Poppy will stay alive for some more time. Also, all corrupting potions used, which means Onias has to recall at some point of this laning phase. And he has 900 gold, so enough for the Bami Cinder, recall TP back, and try to lane on against that Shen. Proc the charge, hit the stun, and bonus damage from Summer Cape. Bami Cinder will be there.
Yeah, as well, honestly, Five Kings making that good rotational play, Infamous, that was a huge mistake. There is no reason to contest jungle fights unless they're really fast, because you have a lane bot side. You don't have that lane priority, and your lane cannot rotate first. Five Kings use that. If you cannot kill the Vayne, play on rotation, just move your bot lane because the wave is going to be shoved in. And on the other side, Mr. Freeze can actually afford. Ooh, that was quite a lot of damage there. Juicy burst by Galio, but yeah,
only killed them and managed to like take down 50% of HP.
To be fair, Karma has like what, 700 health maybe, if that. So he's pretty squishy. Focus with the Red Smite and double longsword can do quite a lot of damage here on Slola. Slola does not have the ultimate available yet, but Tibur wants to land that stun. We might even see that. Nope, not gonna happen. Tibur just saying, it's okay, I'm a Veigar, I'm just AFK farming and everything is gonna be cool. But yeah, either way, Infamous, if you pick Vayne, you cannot contest those jungle fights. You force the flash, you go back, you reset, you try to use that flash in the next engagement. Maybe even once Fiddlesticks hits that level 60, Graves has no flash, you can fear him, chain CC, and maybe grab a kill. Either way, Five Kings with that 2-0 lead. Tibur is gonna clean the ward. They're not gonna see that aggressively placed ward there, so that's gonna be quite a bit of information for Infamous. But Focus, meanwhile, seems like he wants to maybe even start up on the Drake. Infamous is going to see that, but again, you have a Vayne, you have a Karma that barely has 300 health. I really don't think they can contest unless Phil can say something about that.
I'm not really sure what he can do about it. He's level 5, so no ulti from him. Maybe flash into Smite and try to contest that, but definitely doesn't look like it. I mean, he will flash, he will not. He will land the Smite, but he will not take the Drake, and now Oriana will hit the shock only on this Galio. He had the aftershock, but not enough to survive, and now Focus has to recall, and Tibur also has to find a way to run away. Infamous did lose one guy, but they got a first Drake, and that kill did go onto the Vayne, so small win from the Infamous team. Mr. Freeze has that call as the first buy, so probably not enough gold at this point to buy something actually big for that Vayne. 1,200 gold, so maybe boots into Vamp Scepter or completely finished tier 2 boots. Focus, here comes back on the mid lane, and Tibur will land the stun this time. Focus procs the phase rush, and that will be an easy kill for these Graves against Lola. I mean, I'm not really sure why he's dying like this. He has 2 deaths, and both the times he dies in the same way, making the same mistake. I mean, he's playing against Veigar. 1 stun hits, he's probably dead. With the Graves being around, that's a completely easy kill for the Five Kings. He has to like change his positioning style because it obviously doesn't work.
Yeah, or get Merc Boots into Veigar. It's not that uncommon to see Merc Boots rush. Either that or you run the cleanse. He opted to go for the Summoner Teleport, and of course that's going to mean that if he does get stunned, he's going to be in a world of hurt. And now he went for a dead tier, going for the Amplifying Tome, wants to rush the Archangel Staff right away, but once again, you have no boots, you have no mercs, you have no way to get out of the stun that Tibur has. And on top of that, I mean, they have such an easy stun setup because Focus can smoke screen, then Tibur can right click with that Glacial Augment as well. You get the double slow, and then you can just walk up to Slola and just land the stun. He most likely has the approach velocity as well. And Slola...
he doesn't have flash, he will get stunned again, and he will be bursted down by Tibur. I really don't know what to say about this. I mean, he died 3 times in the same way.
This is the point where you're right, Noob Jungler doesn't get
Did you play Far Cry 3?
No, actually I didn't.
Okay. But do you know the meme about the evil guy in the game? He says, do you know the definition of insanity? He's doing the exact same thing over and over again, thinking things will change.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
there's is insane.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was a... You know, some old Buddhist monk said that, because I know the meme, I'm pretty sure it's not connected to, or, well, it didn't originate in Far Cry 3, but either way, yeah, I completely agree, and Slola really has to switch it up, he has to do something else. I mean, he's losing to a Vigor in farm early on into the game. At some point, Tiber is going to be Q ult, and he's going to be dead. Meanwhile, dive on the top side of the map, Blind Boy here has flash, but he's going to get knocked into the wall, and it's going to be a free kill. 4 or 5 Kings Onions, that was beautiful out of him as well, flashing out.
That's a Fiddlesticks TP. I was like 100% sure that was Oriana,
Okay.
and I already saw it like Slola dying for the 4th time in this game. And once Fiddlesticks showed up on the top, I was like, wait, how in the hell did that happen? And then I realized that he has the spellbook. That will be the first turret for the 5 Kings. TP is coming in from Shen again. He wants to die again. Senna will not do much. Here she did give the shield to her allies, in Justice will not die from this. Veigar, not enough mana for Tibor or anybody else on the top side of the 5 Kings. Anyways, 2 kills on the Shen. The first tower bonus gold before 14th minute. Awesome amount of gold for the undefeated team at this point of the game. 5,000 gold lead, which again against Vayne can work pretty good. I mean, they still have to find a way to kill her very easy in the team fights when the 5 against 5 fights happen in this game. But so far, Fed Veigar, Fed Graves already looks promising to me.
Yeah, exactly, and also taking into account the fact Galio has more farm than Wayne, something that should not happen in a feasting lane. Normally, the AD carry, or rather the range hero on the bot side of the map, should have a little bit more CS. Of course, he's playing Vayne, he's gonna need some time to scale up, but I don't like the fact that their only frontline is not gonna be in the fight originally for Infamous. I just think that's not going to be so good, because Vayne cannot develop those Rage Blade stacks in the mid game, and he just can't melt the frontline when he needs to wait for Shen to show up, wait for him to taunt, throw that safe zone out, and then he's going to have a lot more room to get that free DPS down. Blind Boy is going to try to pop here, but he's here returning the damage grasp on both of the top laners, and with the shield, it should be more than fine to continue on the trade. Infamous in quite a lot of trouble here. Fiddlesticks does not have the old dragon, is up in 2 seconds, and Slola once again in trouble. Flash here coming out of Tibor, flash here coming out of focus as well. That was pretty interesting, but they're just setting up for the Poppy. And here we go, Assassin Poppy running in. He's gonna go, Poppy! Oh, I was sure he's gonna go for the stun.
Why? Why not?
I'm so sad. I believed in Assassin Poppy.
Well, I'm pretty sure that Focus was like completely sure that Q will hit, and with that collateral damage being hit on the Slola will be dead again. But thanks to that phase rush bonus movement speed, Slola managed to get out of the second Q explosion from the grave, so he didn't take damage, so the collateral damage didn't kill him in this game. Once again, Slola will sidestep this Veigar stun, but again here comes Focus, and that will be another dead Oriana in this game, 4th time in 12 minutes. Besides that, 5 Kings have taken the second Drake in this game, so they so far have the Cloud Drake, the Fell Drake, bonus CDR on the ultimates, and bonus damage. If they take 2 more Drakes in this game, Mountain Shield will be something that Infamous will have to deal with. With Oriana not having that much damage at this point of the game, or probably any point of the game, it will be pretty hard for Mr. Freeze to actually survive against that. But like once I saw the Justice Punch be charged, I was completely sure that he will try and focus down that Vayne. He didn't decide to do that, but the 5 Kings will try and kill this Shen again. Blind Boy, he has the flash, he has this his ultimate, but Stand United will not leave him out of danger. Another kill going into this Graves, 4-0-3 for Focus. 7 out of 8 kills into his KDA score, which is pretty good for the 5 Kings jungler. And again, Focus did say that he feels like he's pretty dominant over anybody in this league, and so far he has showed it in a pretty good way.
Yeah, he's doing quite a lot of work here. 5 kings in a phenomenal spot. 3 minutes still, the next streak. It's gonna be mountain as well. Will be pretty nice. Meanwhile, we see the dive on the mid lane, stun, into the Q. The ult not even needed here. Tibor grabbing that kill. Oriana 0-5-1, struggling so much. He can't even complete one item. Veigar, meanwhile, is about to build his third bot turret falls as well. As the mid turret and 5 kings just expanding that gold lead throughout the mid game. The next Drake should be more than easy for them. Herald as well spawning, they can grab that as well. 5 kings can do whatever they want. Maybe even set up for that Baron early on. And Infamous, they just do not have the answer. I mean, maybe this way, but again, maybe because Shen is still not tanky enough. He will not have the opportunity to, again, stack up the DPS, stack up the Rage Blade. He'll pretty much get one-shotted. I mean, Blind Boy is going to get one-shot. He has no magic resist. Veigar can, even with a slow build, can do so much damage to the Shen.
Yeah, he's so much ahead against LoL, and also Slow Olaf will not provide the good enough amount of shield in the team fights because of only one completed item. To be fair to Slow Olaf, his itemization costs a little bit more than Tibor's, but we will see the Tibor getting the shot, the slow again onto this Oriana, and that will be another kill for Tibor. Rampage for the Veigar in this game, 10-1 on the scoreboard, and once again, Slola, I mean, he saw the Senna shadow. Why didn't you just run away? Like, hit the Q, hit the W, I mean, you can use Command Protect to deal damage. It will proc the phase rush, so you can run away with bonus movement speed. And then Lakitar, Patarek, and Tibor, nobody could catch up to Slola. He died for the 6th time in this game. And also, I'm not really sure how much stacks on that tier he has, but no matter if he has like 700 at this point or 7, that shield will not help at all. Taking into consideration how much damage Focus and Tibor deal in this game, so this looks like another Herald for 5 kings, with all tier 1 towers being taken down. 5 kings can try and contest even an inhibitor at this point of the game. And Blind Boy looks like he's gonna be dead again, no way to run away, and Fiddlesticks, he did manage to find an ultimate, but Poppy will kick him away. And that's the answer. Why Poppy? Into Fiddlesticks. Galio finds a way to knock up the Slow again, and that Oriana ultimate is on cooldown. Right now it came back but didn't hit anybody. Veigar over the wall, then managed to connect the stun on Dingo. Everybody on the Infamous team will survive except that Shen being killed at the start of the fight.
Yeah, we're gonna see Poppy here maybe setting up for the stun, but either way, Fiddle figure out something is not right there. We'll check with his passive trinket. And he makes it out alive, but still level 9, Fiddlesticks, level 10, Oriana. On the other side, we see level 11, level 12, Veigar. Just so good for 5 kings. And I honestly, if I was Tibor here, just Magice. Straight up. Next item, Magice.
He has like 10 Dark Seal stacks.
He's just going one-shotting absolutely everybody. Shen is getting some MR, and I'm pretty sure he's going to go for the Merc Boots as well. I'm kind of surprised that Graves went for Tabes as well. I feel like Merc Boots into the Taunt, into the Fear, into you know, the stun and the root from the Karma maybe would be a little bit better off, especially with the fact that, I mean, you're blocking Vayne's basic attack. She's going to go for a Rage, but she's going to kill you with Silver Bolts, not with that right-click damage. But either way, 5 kings. I feel like it doesn't matter. He could have went Spell Pen Boots and freaking maxed Smokescreen. Well, maybe not really, but still, he would do just fine if they continue to play as a team, as they're doing right now. I feel like those small things are barely noticeable. 11-1, 2 Drakes, and we're going to see that Mountain falling as well. Fiddle absolutely cannot contest. He might just, you know, help the Vayne get the red buff. Maybe he's going to get it for himself. We're going to see. Either way, 5 kings just starting to siege up. Maybe Fiddle can get an angle to ult. They need something, they need picks, they need something to happen on the map, because come 20 minutes and Baron is gonna be an easy target.
Yeah, he has the flash, so maybe he can look for the flanking positions over the wall, ulti flash, and try to hit somebody. Justus, it looks like he wants to kill Lakinter and Patrick here. Still may manage to rotate back on the bot side of the map. With a third Drake going into favor of 5 kings, so now they have 3 soul points, 1 more, and the Mountain Shield will be there for the rest of this game. And after that, I'm pretty sure that nobody in the 5 Kings will be able to get killed in this game. Mr. Freeze got the bonus movement speed from the Karma, procs the Silver Bolts, as well as the Prezi attack on this Galio. He does a really good amount of damage with the Bork and Prezi attack and Silver Bolts, but still, as you said, he will not be able to do that for like 10 to 15 seconds in one fight because of one flash ulti from this Veigar. Baron is spawning in 1 minute, so probably we will see the setup being made from 5 Kings if they put enough wards on the red side of the map, and contest will probably not gonna happen. I mean, it's still a 50-50. Fiddlesticks has the ulti over the wall, flash over the wall with the smite, and focus at this point of the game. Only 12 levels ahead, so like 50 more damage on smite. Not really that much of a change for them, or the upper hand at least. But still, with the Warrior Enchantment and the Black Cleaver being completed on these graves against Fiddlesticks, who has the Seeker's Armor and Runic Echoes, so much damage coming from the grave side. On the other hand, Fiddlesticks not really the one that will going to kill everybody else.
It's quite interesting builds across the board. Black Cleaver as well, instead of, I feel like, a serrated Dirk maybe would be better off, considering there's quite low armor values on the other side. But either way, as I said, it really does not matter at this point. 3 minutes until the Mountain Drake and 5 Kings are going to become even more immortal. Poppy wrapping up that adaptive helmet, having so much magic resist as well as health, as well as the armor. He pretty much has everything he needs. Shen is going to get a little bit of wave clear with that Sunfire, but still, it seems like he's just trying to freeze the wave, which it's not too bad. But again, everything 5 Kings is waiting for is going to show up in 2 minutes. Getting that Drake, getting that Soul, then using the Mounted Soul and the extra beefiness to tank out and kill the Baron. Of course, with Senna rocking the Umbral Glaive, he will have a lot of vision and I'll focus with his Red Trinket as well. And if we look at the control wards as well, they're really on point here. 6 control wards on the side of 5 Kings. Just completely ready to deny the vision. Focus seems like he wants to dash over the wall and just start up that Baron, and I think that's exactly what he did. So 5 Kings starting up the Baron. Senna is there to heal as well. He has the Aegis, enough armor. I feel like this is quite easy for 5 Kings, and I mean, if the worst happens and they have to disengage, they're really not gonna lose that much health.
And they will try to engage onto Infamous team here. Justice will flash away and Dingo will be slowed, but the movement speed is enough. Focus flashes over the wall, tries to catch Justice, and huge amount of shield is coming in from this Shen. Not enough to actually take maybe a kill or something. Still Karma died, and 5 Kings have a player ahead for this Baron fight, or maybe it's not really necessary. I mean, Pop is gonna split push the bot lane, and as we can see, both Vayne and Orianna wanted to go on that side of the map. Vayne decided to rotate back to mid, but still no contest coming from the Infamous team. And this looks like a pretty easy Baron. Fiddlesticks, he still has the ultimate, but Flash is on cooldown, so he first has to find a way to come to the Baron pit and then try to ulti over the wall. Patrick is on him really easy, so I'm not really sure how much Fiddlesticks can do here. And yeah, that will be the easy Baron for the 5 Kings. Patrick did his job completely easy, and again, he has the proto built into almost completed Zonia. He could probably one-shot his Fiddlesticks if he gets the chance, so just wanted to stay away, not being in the zone of getting killed by this Galio. The main problem for the Infamous team now that actually the main problem is not the Baron buff, is the next spawning Drake, which is coming in 30 seconds, and they have to fight the team that has 5 Baron buffs. Now it will be very hard for them to actually contest this. Vayne also doesn't have the completed Rage Blade. Orianna didn't even start building the second item. Shen not really close to being for the Tormil to be completed, so this looks like something that Infamous cannot contest, or maybe will try not to contest. Justice finds a huge silence fear on this Senna. She will be the first guy to die here, but now Tibor can do enough damage. Lola here's the shocky, but not enough damage from the Orianna, and that will be the triple kill for this Veigar. Blind Boy managed to find the shutdown finally on the 5 Kings mid laner, but he will be the next dead guy in this team fight. 4 in favor for 2. 5 Kings managed to secure the win in this team fight, and now they can take the last Drake. Poppy still has the Baron buff, so she can push the mid lane, as well as Galio, who is going on the bot side. bot side to try and take that second tower on the bot lane.
I'm honest, that was a horrible fight for 5 Kings. Even though they ended up winning, if this was an even game...
They won just because they have like 10,000
Exactly, they would have gotten slaughtered. They eat, I believe it was a 3-man Fiddle ult into a 3-man Orianna ult.
Yeah.
You cannot have that happen into an AoE comp. But again, they're so far ahead that even with some small mistakes in itemization, even in some small mistakes in positioning, they still end up just running into the enemies, pressing a few buttons, just winning the fight. And that just goes to show how far behind Infamous is. And now with this Mountain Soul, it's going to be even harder for Infamous to do anything. I really don't see them winning this game, honestly. Orianna 0-7 barely has that one item going for the Wisp. I guess into a Spellbinder, but it's a bigger question of whether he's going to finish the Spellbinder or 5 Kings going to finish their Nexus first. Meanwhile, Tibor, I wonder how much AP he has. Double slow into the death cap. Most likely going to put him around, what, 700? Maybe even a little bit more than that, depending on his stacks. 770, damn, that's a pretty good guess here. But either way, 5 Kings, I feel like they can just walk into the base, kill the Nexus, and yeah, just carry on with their day.
Yeah, it will be a little harder because the Baron buff will wear off in 20 seconds. But if they manage to catch the inhibitor in the mid lane before it disappears, it will be a good victory for 5 Kings. Jets and Blindboy both trying to like clear the wave so Poppy doesn't get the turret in the top lane. I mean, not really sure why they're trying to actually do that. Because of that play, they will lose the inhibitor in the mid lane and Onios can destroy the turret. But the problem is that he's taking the tower with that Sunfire Cape, and Poppy can be in the problem here. She will kick the Orianna away with her ultimate, but Blindboy deals enough damage as well. That will be a shutdown for Shen. Dingo and Justice didn't actually get a chance to do anything with this kill, so no bonus gold for them. But still Poppy, I mean, he has the Sunfire Cape. I'm not really sure how he intended to actually take down the turret without taking the aggro from it, with Shen being around, but okay, they still managed to catch the turret on the bot lane, on the top lane, and in the mid lane. So 4 towers in favor of 5 Kings with 1 Baron buff is really good. I mean, their gold lead increased to 13,000, which is pretty good. Veigar finally built that Magi's. Maybe it's a little bit too late because he lost some of them when he got killed. So now he has only 7. Maybe he could have gotten more if he didn't die in that fight, or maybe bought the Magi's earlier. But for him, it's not pretty bad. I mean, 7 stacks, it's okay. And the Blessing Wand will probably give him, I don't know what, Void Staff, Banshee's Veil, whatever he gets, he will get just more AP, and that's the most important thing for him.
Yeah, 5 Kings, once again, with the fact they opened up that inhibitor on the mid lane, means they can just potentially split. They can even 5-man as well. They just have to be very decisive in the way they dive, because if they end up running all together, they might end up eating another 5-man Shockwave, another 5-man Fiddle ult. Now, it's not too much damage, but the main issue is if that happens, they have to focus the mages dealing the AoE damage, and Vayne is going to have enough time to stack up that Rage Blade. Still, I feel like Veigar presses Q ult and Vayne is dead, so that's kind of a problem. But
correction, anybody is dead.
Yeah, that's a pretty fair point here, especially with Shen going for that full Tormiel, which I'm still not really sure why, but either way, turret will be chunked out little by little. Baron spawning in 55 seconds, Elder Drake in 2.5 minutes. Poppy just pick up the shield, not take any damage, he really doesn't care, has the Mountain Drake, has the shield, so many defensive stats on top of everything, does have the stopwatch as well if he gets in trouble. Orianna doing literally 0 damage here. And I feel like Infamous has to engage, but I don't see how they can win the fight.
Yeah, and the Galio will be the one trying to engage here. Vayne is gonna be caught, forced to flash away, but Freeze doesn't get a chance to deal damage here now. He pops the final hour, tries to kill this Galio. Veigar also got the double kill. He can probably get the triple here on the Vayne. Again, triple kill going into favor of Tibor, and Slola will be just forced to run away from focus as 5 Kings go run down the Nexus. I mean, Dingo is in the base, but that's a Karma with the Teens on Holy Grail. Not enough damage to clear this minion wave. The first Nexus Tower is gonna get destroyed, and Tibor pushed from his W by this Poppy, which means Dingo will not die, but will not change the outcome of this game. 5 Kings take the victory as they go 3-0 on the table.
They continue their streak of wins, third in a row, undefeated. 5 Kings stay on the throne, as their name says. They're right now the kings of the scoreboard. We'll see if they are gonna stay the kings of the Baltic Masters. But before we go on to the next game, we're gonna talk about a little what happened in this game. How did the 5 Kings win this one? Guys, what did we see here? Let's go from the draft, where Team Infamous outdrafted here, since we also again we saw the Veigar mid, which we don't see usually. Is that something that Michko, you think we're gonna see often here in this league?
Well, maybe. I'm not really sure, because it's not the meta pick at this moment, but players in the Baltic Masters, as we can see, like, they're playing it a lot. They are really confident on that Veigar. They find a way for it to work, and I'm not really sure that Tibor is like the most godlike Veigar I've ever seen, as much as like we've seen a really poor performance from Slola. Veigar got fed because he was really positioning bad in this game, constantly getting caught by Graves, constantly getting killed by Veigar, and Tibor like got 2 triple kills in this game basically just because of that.
Yeah, and Sino Slola was the one that was targeted the most on the mid lane. He had at 1.06, while Veigar was stomping the whole team of Team Infamous. Do you think he played bad, or 5 Kings just knew what they were about to do and knew what was the plan, and that was to shut down that Oriana mid?
Nah, I think Slola found his best pair of running shoes and just went straight on mid. Bam. You cannot go 0-7. You know exactly what's going to happen playing into the Veigar, playing into the Graves. You have to have both vision control. You have a Fiddlesticks. He has those free wards through the trinket.
Yeah.
And you need to have you either need to go tier into Mercs, or you need to go cleanse. Because having the teleport is basically like fast food for Veigar. Well, you're going to TP, you're just going to die again. So he cannot allow this to happen. He has to respect the matchup, and clearly into Veigar with that Glacial Augment build, you know, he can catch up to you. He just needs to basic attack you with approach velocity. He can run in, throw that stun, and after that we see that enough damage is going to go through. By the time you finish stacking the tier to get the shield to maybe survive, the game was pretty much over.
In Michko, that Fiddlesticks that Team Infamous picked up. Okay, we see here that Tibor is the MVP. I think we're gonna have someone else on the line, but definitely Tibor here had the most impact, since I think they've let him have the most impact, right? And yeah, back to that Fiddlesticks. Michko, do you think that it can work out? I saw that you were really excited when it got picked, and did you think from the start of the game that Fiddlesticks is going to work out for Team Infamous?
Well, at first, I was 100% sure that it will go on the top lane, and when it got switched back to jungle, then I was a little bit, I'm not going to say confused, but I was definitely not sure if it's going to work, because you're playing into Graves. He's extremely aggressive. Fiddlesticks, the only thing he can do against the Graves is just fear him away when he dashes into his face. So maybe in the late game, when Fiddlesticks gets 2 or 3 items, finds a 5-man ultimate, yes, it can work. But as we saw, like Oriana got killed a lot of times, Shen as well, Fiddlesticks not that much, but he was completely behind against everybody on the side of 5 Kings. So even when he landed the 3-man ultimate, he didn't do any damage.
Yeah.
Nobody was able to die, especially after that Fiddlesticks ultimate. The Oriana landed the 3-man shockwave, and nobody still died, so they were completely behind and with no way to actually come back to this game.
Yep, that was evident, I think. And we're gonna go ahead into our interview of this match. We're gonna go talk to Patrick that played Galio. Patrick, greetings from the studio and congratulations on your victory.
Hey, thanks.
You guys are 3-0. You are undefeated here. How do you feel after this victory against Team Infamous? Team Infamous showed that they can play League of Legends, but you seem to be a better team here, and quite frankly, it seemed like it was easy for you guys.
Yeah, honestly, I feel pretty great. Like feeling being on top of the standings is always feels good, you know, and. Yeah, I mean, I feel like my team just basically boosted me this game. Like all we had to do is play safe on bot, and we're good to go.
Was that like a strategy from the start to let Veigar get that tempo and let him have the kills, and then he's gonna stomp the whole team?
Not really. I feel like we just mainly played off the mistakes of our opponents and tried to punish those as much as possible. For example, like the Orianna overstepping into the Veigar cage, and we just like abused that, and we went from there.
Yeah, we definitely saw that, a couple of mistakes from Orianna. We talked about it here on the desk. And you guys are right now undefeated. Do you think that it can stay that way with zero defeats on the scoreboard at the end of the Baltic Masters?
Yeah, definitely. I'm very confident in my team, and we have a great coach as well. Everyone's putting in the work, and it's looking real good right now.
Well, we wish you all the best, and hopefully we will see a team that has no losers. Patrick, thanks once again.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We saw that. We heard that it was all around mistakes of the opponents. It seemed like that from the beginning of the game, that opponent making a lot of mistakes, and then you don't even have to play that good. Am I right?
You just grab the kills.
Yeah,
Take them as they come. Yeah.
You just grab the kills. You don't need to be a master of League of Legends when they're making mistakes. Even I could play that game, I think. You wanna play? Are you guys gonna make mistakes? Ladies and gentlemen, that was our first game. Before we go into our second one for the night, we're gonna make a small and a short break, and then when we come back, we're gonna talk about our next matchup: Iron Wolves and Estonian Vipers. And we are back. We're gonna go and head into our second game for tonight. We saw 5 Kings dominate Team Infamous, and now we'll see how this second game is gonna be played, since we are gonna have Iron Wolves and Estonian Vipers. Last time we saw Wolves getting run down by Kings. Now we'll see if Vipers are gonna be stronger. Before the game, we'll talk about what can we expect in this one with Michko and Saina. Guys, it seems like we have a lot of animals here. Wolves, Vipers, and then on top of that we have Kings. You know? Kings to rule them all, and then Kings are on top of the scoreboard. It's a great storyline. I'm making up stories in my mind. Okay, let's leave that. Let's go to League of Legends. Iron Wolves versus Estonian Vipers. Michko, what can we expect from these teams, since they have same scores? We have seen them play. What do you think we can expect, since they have lost one game, but they have also won one game?
I expect something crazy and the Ezreal. Like that's the definition of this game. Iron Wolves are playing crazy because, as Saulio said last week, Pagentas isn't an AD carry player, so basically he's forced to play something else, non-AD carry in the bot lane, so that's always crazy to watch. And on the other side of that lane, we see Ruff on the Estonian Vipers, who has played like Ezreal both of his games, so I'm expecting a crazy pick. And the Ezreal trying to fight each other, but Ezreal has the 50% win ratio, with Ruff playing a completely good Ezreal. I mean, his Ezreal looks pretty good, pretty clean, but the most problems he had in that loss in that game is the support of his team. Like, he was playing that Ezreal pretty good. He was the guy that could have won the game for themselves, but his team actually tried to hint more than he got a kill, so they lost the game.
Well, we'll see if today his team shows up. Not only him, and let's go and head into lineups. Let's see who's going to play on the side of Iron Wolves and who's going to be on the side of Estonian Vipers. Deathron, Jauntis, Saulius, Agentas, and Xavieles are on the side of Iron Wolves and Estonian Vipers. It's Kungispala, Yoft, Jabutikaba, Ruff, and Suflex, or Suflex. Yeah, leave it as Suflex. Saina, where is that bot lane where Estonian Vipers can have the upper hand? Since we heard that the man that's playing the AD carry for Iron Wolves is not the AD carry, but he is a jungler, and his champion pool is pretty, I would say wide, but I don't know if it is or it's not. Since we've saw what we saw Veigar on bot lane, and we saw something else.
I think
Talia.
he played
Talia.
I think he played Veigar twice.
No, Talia was
Did he
in
play
the mid lane.
Veigar?
Yeah, I think it was 2 Veigar
Veigar,
games actually. Oh no, actually, yeah, it was Talia. It was Talia with Alistar. It was their first 2 picks were Talia and Alistar. Yeah. But basically, so Ezreal is gonna get banned, and then imagine playing AD carries in season 10. I feel like being able to play mages bot side is better, because you're just standing there waiting to get one shot. Meanwhile, you can just play like a Syndra bot lane, press one button, and just blow the AD carry up. So I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing for Iron Wolves, but it again depends, because the bot lane player is the jungler, and not a lot of junglers transition into the bot lane.
I just wanted to ask that, what champions that are right now in meta that are played in jungle can transition to bot lane and be AD carries?
None.
Talia?
maybe Talia, but I
it.
mean, Talia is not in the meta right now, but still, it's a jungle pick that can be played in the bot lane with a good support pick. Graves, not that much. Used to be played on the bot lane as an AD carry. Now, with the changes on him, he has been transferred to the jungle and will probably never work in the bot lane again. I'm not really sure what can be played in the bot, except that Talia...
Syndra was a jungler at some point.
Yeah, for a patch or two, so maybe she can be played in the... I mean, she can be played in the bot lane, and she can be considered as a jungler. Veigar was also a jungler at like some point in season 6 maybe or something, so... If he's a jungle player for the past 10 years, then
he's fine.
He's fine. He can get his heroes.
Like 10 picks on the bot lane exist for him.
Well, we'll see if we get another one. And we're gonna go ahead into our votes and predictions. What are your standings on this? Iron Wolves or Estonian Vipers?
Ooh. I'm gonna stay with Iron Wolves because I watched Saulius a lot in the previous season, in the previous split actually, so I'm sticking with the guy all the way.
Okay.
I mean, I saw Twitch Ditron was talking some smack in the chat, so after, you know, you trash talk the enemies, you gotta be ready to shop. So I'm gonna see Iron Wolves as well. Ditron, Saul is gonna shop today.
Oh, let's see. Yeah, after the trash talk, you should show up because then the opposing side can, you know, take advantage of that trash talk. Let's see how you voted on our Instagram profile, Baltic Masters. Iron Wolves 68% and Estonian Vipers only 32. Seems like audience sticks with you guys, and we know that's never a good sign.
Well, the last game it was, so
yeah.
I consider this a victory.
It seems we're breaking that rule where if you vote like, or they vote like you vote, then the team that you voted for loses the game. We're breaking up that rule. So let's see if we have Iron Wolves here winning the game, since they have more percentage than Estonian Vipers. Ladies and gentlemen, this was our introduction for our second game. Second game between Iron Wolves and Estonian Vipers. It's a jungle here in the second game, it seems like it. Stick around because we're going into Champion Select.
When your nightmares turn to real life and the ground's filled up with landmines, we will face it standing side by side. You know I'll come running when you need. I'm coming. You know I'll come running. If you go to war, then I'm going with you. Pick up my sword, yeah, there's nothing I won't do. When you sound the alarm and the chaos is rising, leading the charge, yeah, I'm coming, I'm fighting. Swear on the breath that I breathe, I'll never retreat, yeah, I'll be your army.
And we are back for game number 2, and most likely the craziest draft of the day. Whenever we see Iron Wolves, you know, we don't expect an AD carry, you expect something wild. Michko, give me an IQ 700 predict what's gonna happen in the bot lane for Iron Wolves. I know it's hard, but I gotta hear.
I'm like pretty sure we will see Veigar or Syndra in the bot lane.
Okay,
But
okay.
I expect something crazy from Saulius. Like, he's the mid laner for the past 5, 6, 7 years. I don't really don't know the number exactly, but he has played in the metas with Ari, with Orianna, with Corki, with everything in the mid lane. So I'm expecting to see something crazy. With Agentus playing AP champion in the bot lane, that also puts a chance on Saulius to play maybe Zed, Talon, Kiana, something like that. I always like to see Talon. It was the first champion I played actually when I installed the League of Legends 10 years ago. So I'm always looking forward to seeing some Talon games, although it's not really the place for him at this moment. In the jungle, I'm really not sure what we will see. Maybe something standard probably, and I like this Ezreal ban. Finally, for us, a chance to see Ruff playing something else besides that Ezreal.
Yeah, he's not gonna see the Ezreal most likely until the end of Baltic
There
Masters.
was my prediction.
Rip Syndra on the bot side of the map, of course. I mean, you really don't want to leave it open against us. Playing it on the bot side, Saulius also, he can try it out mid as well. I think this is gonna get banned along with the Jax, and yeah, definitely a lot of target bans. These players know each other perfectly well, and they know exactly what they don't want to play against. And again, when you go full target bans, it leaves a lot of broken things open. Volibear being one of the picks that's absolutely crushing in the current meta as well, but again, Dicho maybe not a fan of that pick. We're gonna find out in a little bit.
Varus is open.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
I'm 100% sure that it will go for Estonian Vipers. As we already said, Agentas doesn't play AD carries, so Varus not probably gonna be something that he will play. I mean, if he can play that Varus in the bot lane just because it's a lethality Varus. Like, there's no AD carry mechanics, you just need to hit skill shots.
Yeah, he's a caster.
Nah, not that hard, so maybe, but with this set being covered at this moment, I'm not really sure if Varus is going to be the first pick for the Iron Wolves, and it obviously won't, so I'm expecting to see maybe Varus Nautilus or Varus Thresh, but Wukong first. Covered by the Estonian Vipers as an answer to Set, but Set at this point can be transferred to the jungle, to the support as well, so maybe Wukong this early is not that good.
We're gonna see it worked out in EBL. Either way, it's gonna get locked in, and of course, it can be flexed in the jungle as well, even though we don't see it that often. Estonian Vipers waiting with the second pick, and it will be Volibear. But again, I'm not quite sure why pick Wukong that early if you're gonna pick the Volibear either way. I feel like Varus Volibear might be the more correct order of picks here, because now you can kind of see what's going on. You're not gonna get surprised by a different type of damage. You know you're playing into double physical damage, and Iron Wolves can just grab that Malphite. Why the hell not? But the question is, where is he going?
Top, probably top,
What?
and Set going back into the jungle maybe. I'm not really sure, maybe Malphite bot lane, I don't know. Yeah, Heimerdinger, something that can actually work in the bot lane as well. That's the pick I actually completely forgot when thinking about the champions and non-AD carry playing on the bot lane. Heimerdinger is actually pretty good for constantly pushing the wave, applying pressure, and again Volibear with the ganking. I mean, he got a rework, but the point of the champions is still like run into the enemy team and try to kill them. With Heimerdinger having like 3 turrets in the bot lane, it will be hard for them to actually do something from that. And again, this Kai'Sa, I'm not liking this at all. I mean, I like watching Kai'Sa being played, but mainly she's played against the Ezreal as a counter pick, and now when the Ezreal is banned, I'm not really sure why locking the Kai'Sa, and also against the Heimerdinger, like, there is no laning phase for that Kai'Sa. She has to farm on the tower like 95% of the laning phase, and she is a champion that it's not really good for her to farm under the turret. No tier stacking that much, no poking, no kills. I mean, the scaling will be good, but still against Malphite, Heimerdinger Set, I'm not really completely fascinated by this.
Yeah, but that's exactly what I was talking about in the pre-game as well. You know, being limited to the pool of AD carries with Ezreal and Aphelios getting banned, what are your alternatives? It's not what you're gonna do lethality Varus into a Malphite. Good luck. You might break his shield in like 2 arrows. So he doesn't actually get that many ticks to choose out of. I mean, maybe Vayne, but again, you're not gonna exist in the laning phase. Maybe Caitlyn, but you're not gonna kill the Malphite late game. So he actually does not have a good pick. Therefore, he has to go for the Kai'Sa because in-game he can actually adapt his build based on who's getting fed and who's not. If Malphite is stacking armor, you can just switch over to the AP build. You're going to start with the Man Immune Rage Blade anyway, so it's going to give you enough time to assess the situation and adapt your build accordingly. Either way, Trash and Maokai are going to get banned out. Estonian Vipers going for that Lulu, protecting the back line, which is okay, but I feel like Estonian Vipers need a Cassio, Corki, Cassidy. They need some heavy magic damage dealing carry to pull them in the late game, unless again Kai'Sa wants to go for the AP build, in which case they can kind of pull out whatever they want mid and maybe even go for the counter pick. But Iron Wolves now have to show at least their picks, even though I feel like they're not going to show their lanes, because at this point, I mean, they can flex Heimer, Malphite, Set pretty much wherever they want.
Well, yeah, Kai'Sa, I mean, she does have the good scaling no matter of the build. If she goes AP, she goes AD, she will be strong in the late game. Despite the itemization she decides to build, but again, that Lulu, if this Morgana gets locked, one Morgana bind into Heimerdinger full combo, Lulu is dead, or Kai'Sa is dead. There is nothing that neither of them can do to actually protect each other, so I'm not really, again, I'm not really fascinated about the picks from Estonian Vipers in the bot lane, and also there is no much CC on the side of Estonian Vipers, which means that one Black Shield can actually save a life. So Morgana, pretty good here. Again, Wukong, Kai'Sa, Volibear, 3 picks that want to like legit dash into your face, with Morgana having the ultimate. She can activate the Soul Shackles, use the Zhonya's, and she will be non-targeted. She will also land 3 snares on the enemy team, so it looks pretty good for them. Now, Vayne?
We didn't see that coming, unless it's Vayne top lane.
Vayne top, and Set Mid? Malphite mid? What?
Beats me, man.
I mean, again, this is not an AD carry, so I'm not really expecting this Vayne to be on the bot. So I'm not really sure where it goes, because if that's a Wukong top lane, Vayne cannot do anything about it. Like, he has 2 dashes, she has 1 condemn, so...
Yeah, it's
It doesn't look
scary
like...
matchup.
It doesn't look like a Vayne in the top lane. Vayne in the jungle doesn't make sense. Vayne in the mid lane, blind picked. Please! Yes! We will see an AP Kog'Maw finally! Second time in the past 7 days, I mean. But the first time in the Baltic Masters. And I'm super hyped for this.
Into a Malphite Heimer, AP Kog'Maw.
I mean, you're still outraging them, so...
I
Why
just
do you
think
have to be scared?
It's
Yeah,
gonna be
Vayne
give me
mid into Kog'Maw. Oh. Well, I'm not really sure how this will work. I mean, Kog'Maw mid is not that easy to kill. It is because he doesn't move and the only way he can survive is use flash. But you cannot run into him because of his E. Huge amount of slow and also with AP build a lot of damage. Vayne cannot kill him that fast. Well, at least in the laning phase. And also the set in the jungle, I'm not really sure how it will work against Kog'Maw. You basically have to like run into his face and then use the pull, then you can try to do something. And this Kog'Maw in the late game, Kog'Maw ultimates into Wukong, Volibear and Kai'Sa in the enemy backline. It looks pretty good, I must say, and I'm not really sure how well the Iron Wolves comp will work against that.
Kind of curious who's gonna go where. I mean, Iron Wolves can always flex the Heimer mid lane and send Saulus to play the carry. Have him bot lane with the Morgana. 1 bind is probably gonna be a kill either way, and the matchup itself is not gonna be too horrible. Meanwhile, Heimer can just perma push Kog'Maw early on into the game to make sure he uses up all of his mana, miss the CS, and then get ahead in scaling. And then once they group, they can always send Saulus to that side lane to gather up solo XP, because once you get that 3rd item, you get some defense on Vayne, you should be able to survive the burst coming out of the Wukong, especially if you can end him into the wall. I think overall, Iron Wolves, that's the scary part about them, is the flexibility. They can do whatever they want, whenever they want it. Meanwhile, every other team is going to be a little bit more, see-through in the terms of the draft. You see their picks, you know who's going to go where. They're not gonna, switch their Lulu top lane all of a sudden, because you kind of know what player plays what, and that's pretty much that. Malphite to Wukong as well. It should be a pretty okay matchup for Malphite. Honestly, stacking up the armor early, maybe getting a Glacial Shroud. Has to be careful for the first 4 levels, because Wukong is just gonna all in you with the Conqueror. But once you get some health and some armor, it's gonna be very difficult for Wukong. He needs a Black Cleaver, he needs Blade, and maybe even a Last Whisper to go through 350 armor that Malphite is going to have at that point of the game.
Yeah, it will be hard, definitely, but I'm really hoping to see maybe some more aggressive build on that Malphite, just because I want to see them fight constantly.
Sure.
Probably gonna be disappointed about it. He'll most probably get a Bramble Vest into maybe Sunfire Cape and Glacial Shroud and basically just switch to AP. But still, I don't know, maybe that Wukong can actually kill him pretty easy in the early game. Also, maybe Malphite, if he wants to go to the kill trading, he can actually try with the Comet. If I'm seeing it, he has the attack on Malphite. Well, to be honest, I was expecting to see a Comet, because I wanted to see him constantly throwing the Qs, hit the Comets, and actually just trying and constantly win the trades. Not really sure about the Prezi attack, because you have to play. You have to play around constantly out attacking Wukong, which is not that good with him stacking the Conqueror, playing maybe with the Blade Ruin King and Death Dance. He will have a lot of healing, so I'm not really sure how much it will work for Dethrone, but we've seen him in the previous game. He played Jax in the top lane, and actually he was the one who carried the game for his team. So far, I don't really have a reason to doubt this Prezi attack Malphite, although it looks pretty weird.
Yeah, it's fine. Just a matter of fact that, Kenty led those 3 basic attacks. Sometimes you see Grasp on Malphite as well, when you just want to, hit 1 attack. But again, you have that basic attack reset on the W, so it shouldn't be too hard. Unless Wukong just manages to pull off his combo really fast, going with the E basic Q cancel and just W right out, so he cannot get that press the attack proc off. But either way, Malphite will be pretty good into that matchup. Personally, I love just going for that Iceborne Gauntlet early on, with maybe the Bami Cinder for some extra health, and most physical damage matchups can't actually hurt you. Wukong does get a little bit of an attack speed buff and some armor shred, but honestly, Malphite should have so much armor that it really should not matter. T-Tron starting with that W. Going Resolve second, most likely. Again, personally, I do like that mana flow band just to make up for the fact Malphite has some mana issues early on if you end up spamming the Q, but I guess T-Tron does not really care about that all that much. Saulius ending up going mid lane after all with the Doran Shield, having that health regen, hitting every single minion so far. Moving in toward the enemy blue buff. He knows where Volibear started, so he can expect him here. Might proc the Blastcon as well and just go out. Now this will give them some information. It's gonna, you know, help them be sure where exactly Volibear is. But on the other hand, most likely no aggressive plays whatsoever being made here. Both teams just scaling up, waiting, looking for the opportunity to gank and to maybe get a couple of kills early on. Bot side, perma push, Morgana Heimer. Yeah, I was gonna say I'm surprised Morgana isn't throwing bindings, but the fact she has half mana means that she probably missed a few already.
Or maybe hit a few, since Rock has like 50% HP.
Kinda curious if he took the Black Shield level 2 or he's just getting the W. And I would really like seeing what Morgana took at level 2 because, again, he has the Spell Thieves. He can just spam the W, apply the comment, get that extra gold constantly. Either way, Yonat is here, grabbing that bot crab. Volibear rotating topside. If he rushes the crab, it's going to be free. If he does the Raptors first, then he might be in trouble. But Saulius has so much pressure mid, and he knows exactly where Volibear is. BMing a little bit, saying, you know what, I'm just waiting here, chilling until my jungler shows up. And considering that Vayne has the pressure mid lane, Volibear has to drop the top crab. There's also double crab control for Iron Wolves prior to the Drake spawning is actually quite a good start.
And also Vayne mid looks a little bit different, but it can work as well as Cho'Gath in the mid lane. I mean, you have to hit like one CC and you manage to run away. Jonatis will he flash here for the Koningspachla. That's not enough damage for the Wukong to be dead, but still enough to force him to use that crafting pot, maybe recall eventually in a few seconds or minutes. As I was saying, yeah, Vayne in the mid lane. We've seen Cho'Gath being completely easily ganked on the top lane, Vayne pretty easily ganked on the bot lane during the laning phase, but with the Cho'Gath on the mid and Vayne on the mid, you need to hit one Rupture or hit one Condemn, and basically you've just managed to run away. So, and this Vayne could actually work for Saulius. So far he has a 10 CS advantage against this Kog'Maw. Jonatis, is he planning to flash over the wall? And he will land this stun, but this was like completely disastrous. I mean, he flashed to hit the pool, and with Vayne and Set, there is no much CC able to be hit. All that Kog'Maw after that pool, so this Kog'Maw only had one job, but that's called flash away. Easily said, and even easier to be done for him. So he managed to run away, and he has like 30 CS at this point of the game. So recalling to the base, teleport back, and Saulius using heal. He's trying to catch the Kog'Maw with the flash being on cooldown for him. Set is throwing that W for the bonus damage. Saulius flashing for the first blood. He will take the turret aggro, but definitely not enough for Estonian Viper's mid laner to trade that kill back into his favor. Jonatis and Saulius did this. Well, I wasn't really expecting it to happen, but it did, and it worked, so a bonus gold for this Vayne. On the other hand, as I said, Kog'Maw did hit. He did have enough money to recall back to base and get that tier to start stacking, to start getting mana. And also with Set and Vayne recalling back to base, this looks like the first dragon for Estonian Viper. Yoft, he's starting the Infernal Drake. Suplex is there also as Yabutikaba, so first dragon in trade for first blood. Well, it's a fair trade. Also, with the Kog'Maw teleporting back to the lane, he managed to come back into the CS lead against this Vayne and totally deny the advantage that Saulius had before taking the first blood.
Yeah, not for long though. Vayne getting that wave, pushing into her turret, and Saulius just waiting. Ooh, this is gonna be. Oh my god, that was painful to watch.
My eyes burn.
I mean, there was the cleanse on the other side, so either way it probably wouldn't be a kill, but
There's still not a reason for you to miss that.
I'm gonna fully agree with that one. Yeah, either way, we're just gonna try to forget that ever
Like,
happened.
you're
Saulius-
picking Morgana. You have only one job. Hit the Q and land the shield.
Yeah, to be fair, the easiest ones are often the easiest ones to miss, you know? That's at least what happens when you play Valorant. Either way, Dethrone doing some damage here. Meanwhile, Wukong, so much damage with that spin to win. Getting the solo kill. Malphite with Ninja Tabis will not be enough to survive. Double longsword Wukong, and yeah, exactly what we talked about. If he stacks up the Conqueror early game, Malphite will not be able to win those duels. He needs some time, he needs some items. He needs to become a lot tankier. And yeah, switching over to mid lane, Saulius, of course, wants to rush that Bilgewater Cutlass. As soon as he gets the item, he's gonna have that ulting potential. Proc the ult, activate Bilgewater Cutlass, and all of a sudden you have that 90 movement speed running into the Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw will try to do some damage. Saulius gets out of the slow, but decides not to chase. He knows that Volibear is there somewhere. He would eventually just catch up and probably get the kill as well, but again, he doesn't want to risk it. You need to make sure you don't lose that lead with Vayne, because once Kog'Maw hits that level 16, you will not be able to come close. And you will basically have to split push in order to force the Kog'Maw's Vehicular to move onto the sideline, and then once you just see the opportunity, Blade, Flash, and try to chase down the kill.
And also, if I'm not wrong, Dethrone didn't recall before that fight with Wukong, so he didn't have the Ninja Tabi, he didn't have the bonus armor for from the Cloth, and also no bonus HP from that Ruby Crystal. Morgana manages to... what? He flashed out of Fog of War so he doesn't get killed. Now he will against this Volibear, and Aganthus could be in the problem. Ruff manages to find that ultimate on the Hammerdinger in the back line, but also he has the Saulius fighting him. At these points, Ionatis, he's on the side, he doesn't have his ultimate, also now no flash for him, and Volibear will not die. Lulu is there with the Wild Growth to save Yop from dying. 2-for-1 in favor of Estonian Vipers. Catastrophic fight for Iron Wolves, I must say. Honestly, they took the blue buff, but in trade for 2 kills, and one going into Kai'Sa's arms as well, can be a bit problematic for the remaining of this game. Enough, he showed us already that he can carry the fights if he manages to find the items, with the Kai'Sa getting 1 kill, getting the pretty good amount of CS at this point of the game. It looks like that could happen at some point of this game. Saulius again against this Kog'Maw, he can win every single trade as long as he finds the way to sidestep those ultimates, and so far Kog'Maw using them for the wave clearing. Saulius manages to get killed. He's dead. He has heal, he has stumble. Yeah, I was expecting for this Kog'Maw to actually try and use a few more ultis there, but no enough mana for him. I mean, 400 mana for one ultimate use is a little bit problematic for him, well, at least at this point of the game when he has own tier.
Yeah, Kog'Maw just scaling up slowly but surely. Saulius, on the other hand, as said, he wants that chance to go to a side lane, and you know, right now the laning phase, it's okay, but again, Kog'Maw with phase rush and the slow can do quite a lot. Wukong dashing out, blocking the majority of the damage with his clone. Meanwhile, the rest of his team just grabbing that Rift Herald, and so far Iron Wolves honestly struggling a little bit, but still they have that gold lead. They have farm advantage on most of their lanes, especially topside. However, Wukong did get that 1 kill and the assist. Actually going for Tiamat into the Hex Drinker, it seems, or maybe just rushing the Death's Dance. No Black Cleaver into Malphite is something that's quite interesting either way. Maybe he doesn't really count he's gonna be... Oof, if both of those connected, he'll be in trouble, but maybe he just figured he's not gonna be fighting Malphite all that much. Rotating on the map, running away, but either way, Dragon gonna be spawning in 15 seconds, and so far it seems like no team is in a position to grab it, but Volibear will be the first jungler on the scene. Heimer Morgana just completely shoving in that bot lane. Will get the tier 1. 11 minutes in, no Herald gets the turret. That is quite impressive.
Well, for the Heimerdinger, basically a standard play from him on that bot lane, constantly pushing, and Kai'Sa, Lulu, not really famous for their wave clearing on the bot side, so completely expected for that to happen, but also Yoft having that Rift Herald in his inventory, I was really expecting from him to actually try and use it on some lanes, but still in the mid lane, in the bot lane, no prior for Estonian Vipers, and in the top lane also, even though Wukong got a kill, got the assist, he didn't manage to actually get a single turret plate from that from Malphite's top lane turret. On the other hand, as we can see, Dethrone has actually gotten like 2 turrets played from that turret, and possibly will get a third one if he has Demolish. So far, Malphite, even though he got solo killed against Kuningas, he still has the Ninja Tabby, almost completed Suffer Cape, and he has a completely good amount of CS lead, 25 to 30 CS ahead against this Wukong, and Suffer Cape actually finished at this point. No teleport for him, so he has to walk until he finds his way to the bot lane tier 1 turret, which will probably get destroyed here. I mean, Volibear, Kai'Sa, Lulu, and also with the shell here, the turret will be destroyed, so that's 1 turret for the Estonian Vipers. It will take a few more seconds before it's destroyed, but they managed to find 1 turret back. So far, 1 for 1 on the turret score, but with both turrets being destroyed before level 14, 10 plates of gold will go into both hands, and Iron Wolves with that bonus from the first turret. Ionatis heading to top lane, maybe trying to kill that Wukong again. Well, he decided not to do that, and still we're seeing the exact same thing we saw from Iron Wolves on the bot lane. Heimerdinger and Morgana on the top, pushing the top lane turret, constantly applying the pressure on the waves, thanks to Heimerdinger turrets. Turret on the top lane, also from the side of Iron Wolves, is not destroyed so far, so Yovs can actually try to engage here. Let's see what they can do. There's a big turret from Agentus, and focusing down the roof. He got the Wild Growth, and Suplex has that stopwatch, but Ionatis, Saulius, and also Dethrone are coming back to top lane, and Lulu is dead. Volibear will be dead as well, and Kai'Sa is gonna be killed in the meantime, so 3 kills in favor of nothing go into hands of Iron Wolves. Jabuticaba, as this Kog'Maw didn't find a way to actually try and poke down somebody on the blue side of the map. And Iron Wolves take 3 kills, everybody survives, and the second turret will be destroyed as well, maybe in some next wave. So far, doesn't look like it will happen immediately.
Yeah, we're gonna see what happens here. Agentus needs to be careful. If Kog'Maw was level 11, he did not have, I believe, enough range for that ult. But yeah, either way, they have to be careful. Kog'Maw, not a single item complete and still doing so much. Once he gets to level 16, it will be a world of pain for Iron Wolves. But so far, they're in such a good spot. Volibear only level 8, Vayne with the Blade Ranking complete. He will go for the Rage Blade, and then he's just gonna go solo lane. There's nobody who can kill him that easily. Maybe Wukong, if he lands absolutely everything, and Vayne fails somehow both the Condemn and the Flash, and Heal Blade movement speed boost. But I really don't see that happening from Saulius, so Natus here. How about going in, just cleaning that vision. 130 till the Dragon Spawn. They will just take complete control over that area. Once again, running into an area where you have no vision, you're playing into the Heimer, is pretty much a sure way to lose the fight, because it's just a matter of time before you find some turrets, you get the stun in your face, and you just get completely blown up by the lasers and the bind, and the other crowd control coming in from Iron Wolves. Saulius chilling top side, he does not care, playing that Vayne, getting the solo XP. Just wondering who's gonna show up. Does not have cleanse or QSS, so he has to be careful in the 1v2, but late game when he gets the QSS, I believe he can just kill Lulu and Kai'Sa pretty much at the same time. So he wants the scale as well, but so does Kog'Maw, and it's just a matter of time before we see who's gonna end up doing more work in the late game.
Yeah, the biggest problem for Ruff in the previous fight was exactly the thing you mentioned. Agentus had like 3 turrets and the 4th one from his ultimate, and he managed to hit, I'm not really sure if it was the stun bomb or the mini rockets. No matter what, actually he managed to hit the passive on the turrets, actually procced, and those lasers destroyed Ruff. Besides that, Lulu ulti didn't help much. I mean, it provided these guys with a little bit bonus of health, but with those 4 turrets hitting the lasers, it definitely wasn't enough. Kai'Sa also had that ultimate, which actually helped her survive a little bit more time, but still with the build she has at this point, no attack speed and not enough damage as well. I'm not really sure that Raf can actually kill anybody in this game. Rift Herald will go into hands of Estonian Vipers. No contest coming in from Iron Wolves, but they will take the second Drake in this game. 2 soul points for them and 2 more Drakes needed for them to have the Cloud Soul. With the Heimerdinger actually and the Morgana, as well as Set and Malphite, that soul can work pretty good. Also Vayne as well. When she uses the final hour, she gets the bonus movement speed, doubles the bonus movement speed from her passive, and with the Cloud Soul, the bonus movement speed will be completely good for chasing guys on the side of Estonian Vipers. Also, now that Estonian Vipers, they did take the first Drake, which means that if Iron Wolves manage to find that Cloud Soul, they will have 3 Cloud Drakes on their side, which will provide them 30% more CDR on their ultimates. Not really necessary that much for Vayne, but again, for Malphite, for Heimerdinger, and also Morgana, it actually can work pretty good. Kog'Maw, why would you ever try to walk into Heimerdinger's stun, and that will be completely easy kill for the side of Iron Wolves. There's the Wukong coming in and trying to take the kill. Will he find the knockup? He will, and he did manage to kill this Morgana. Nobody else on the side of Iron Wolves, and Suplex coming a little bit late here. Maybe if he managed to find the shield and the slow on the Argentus, on the Aunatis, maybe somebody else would die here, but 1 for 1, not that bad. And the biggest problem for Iron Wolves is that those gold went into Morgana's hands. On the other side, Wukong took the kill, 2-0-1. So far, with a completed Black Cleaver and Tiamat in his hands, he can also try to fight with Malphite on the side lane. But the biggest problem so far is that Dethrone has the Gauntlet, he has the Ninja Tabi as well as the Sanford Cape. So this Malphite is completely tanky against this Wukong, and also he has the Prezi attack, which will provide even more damage besides the Gauntlet being completed.
Yeah, Malphite in a pretty good spot here. Iron Wolves ending up finding that kill, and Morgana surviving, which is quite nice. Either way, Vayne going for the Rage Play. Deadman's Plate almost done as well on Set, which is going to give him a little bit more engage, a little bit more burst as well. Saulius is going into the enemy jungle, denying the plants, denying the vision as well here. Saulius is gonna hit on them. He hit on them on the right person. Wukong wants to get some damage back, but he got melted.
Ooh, yeah, and also good the pull coming in from that Set. I'm pretty sure that this Wukong wanted to try and shut down, actually one-shot Saulius, but the pull on Set actually denied that opportunity for Estonian Vipers top laners, so that will be an easy kill for the Iron Wolves, and also the turret being destroyed on the bot lane. Third for them, for 3,000 gold lead. At this point, Kog'Maw also no Magic Pen boots, so no that much damage against the Iron Wolves side. Dethrone without any magic resist actually takes like 50 damage from this Kog'Maw ultis. He has enough health, so it's good so far for him, but he will have to find some magic damage on this game. What the hell is this buy? Lost chapter on Kai'Sa after Manavion? I mean, Luden's works pretty good on Kai'Sa, but maybe as a third or a fourth item? Not really sure why now. Luden's into Manavion and Magic Pen boots. Are we playing ARM?
That is
This is like a legit ARM Kai'Sa build.
Yeah, and especially considering you're playing to Heimer. Like, basically, Aganthus can just place a turret every time he sees a W. He just blocked a W.
And now a dagger. What? Now he will buy Narsha with this. Like, I'm 100% sure he will skip Raidwood.
That is... yeah, I mean, it's quite interesting. I don't know what else to say about it. Especially, I guess he's not going to end up being on the side lane, so they're just going to poke. Which is not that horrible, but I feel like they do have a certain lack of disengage if this is the comp they're trying to go for. Because Mafik is just going to at some point just flash ult and you're going to start a fight. Set as well, if he can find the flank, can do quite a lot of damage. And one bind of Morgana is also going to mean the start of the fight. Either way, the next Drake is spawning in 30 seconds. Iron Wolves have Saulius run down there. However, he doesn't really have all that much to offer in terms of vision control. The crab is already dead. He does not have any vision denial. No trinket, no control boards. The mid turret will most likely die. Another bind. Mrs. Morgana really has to pay attention to these because once again, one bind here would basically mean that Volibear with Heimer having his ultimate and Volibear having almost zero magic resist, he would be out of the fight. It's a free Drake, but either way, it seems like Vipers do not want to contest this objective, and that's gonna put Iron Wolves and 3 Drakes, one more, and they're gonna have a Cloud Soul, which again will be amazing. Trying to fight the poke team, getting that extra movement speed, especially on Vayne, that is insanely fast when she ults anyway. You're gonna get even more movement speed to chase down your target.
Yeah, I want to see the point of building this Luden's Echo on the side of Ruff. I mean, Kai'Sa with the full AP build, she does pretty good amount of damage with the Void Seeker, and with Iron Wolves not having that many tanks on their side, only Sett and Malphite, but both of them trying to be in the enemy backline, so she hits like good Void Seekers. She can actually like destroy 50% of HP on anybody on the side of Iron Wolves. The problem is that she doesn't have enough damage on auto attacks, on Q, on or any attack speed as well, so the main problem there will be that Ruff uses the Void Seeker and then he's legit AFK for the next 13 seconds until it comes back from cooldown, and then he will use it again, then again wait 13 seconds, and the fight actually won't last that much for him to actually hit more than one Void Seekers in the fight. So I'm not really sure why he decided to go for that Lost Chapter and for the Luden's Echo eventually, but he will get the red buff from his jungler. He managed to actually stack the Muramana right now, and we'll see what will be his next buy. Dagger will definitely be completed into something better, and yeah, that Rage Blade could actually work pretty good against Malphite and Sett, but with the full AP build so far on him, I'm not really sure if that will be the case. My opinion is that he will probably gonna go for that Nashor's, but not really sure if it's completely a good option for him. Either way, we will see it in the team fights. Saulius found that Rage Blade in his inventory and also the first Zeal, so Vayne pretty close to getting 3 items. So far it's pretty good again. No matter if he completes the Rapid Fire Cannon, Static Shiv or Phantom Dancer, Saulius already has the 25% crit chance and also a lot of attack speed with those 4 items in his inventory so far. So Vayne is completely stacked with items and she will get even stronger. Wukong maybe in a problem here. Let's see if Digital ult is him. That will be the case, and Saulius manages to condemn the Wukong clone. I think this Wukong is pretty dead. Enough damage from the Silver Bolts and the Chain of CC was pretty good for them. 40 seconds dead timer for that Wukong, and in the meantime Iron Wolves will try and take the Baron with 3 guys in that Baron pit, but the problem is that the remaining people on the side of Estonian Vipers are trying to contest that. So yeah, they will take the inhibitor on the bot side, and no Baron will be taken from the side of Estonian Vipers. Probably, even if the fight comes out on the bot on the top side of the map, Malphite has the TP, so he can probably join them. And
Red team's inhibitor has been destroyed.
what a bad call from the Estonian Vipers. They still want to fight here, and Oliver decides to back away after that Black Shield. Wukong is dead still, and Dithron and Saulius will get the first Nexus turret. They won't take the second one. They won't take the first one as well. I was expecting like a few more auto attacks coming in from Saulius, and now Roof wants to chase them, but Roof doesn't have attack speed. He will never kill this Malphite, even though Malphite had like legit 1 Negaton Cloak. This will still build the Baron for the Iron Wolves, except Yoff has the ulti, has the flash, has the smite. He can try to contest this, and Iron Wolves again will not take this Baron. Morgana manages to Black Shield this Volibear stun. This looks like a kill, and in the meantime on the bot side of the map, Saulius will be dead against Roof and this Lulu. Not really sure how that happened if we take into consideration Roof's build in this game, but still against 2 guys without Phantom Dancer, not really an easy job for him to stay alive. It's a good shutdown for Kai'Sa, but the main problem is that this turret next to the Nexus is gonna be destroyed by minions, and super creeps on the bot side of the map also forces someone on the side of Estonian Vipers to actually remain on the bot side for the next 5 minutes. Iron Wolves cannot wait for the Saulius to respawn. He has the Phantom Dancer and just group S5 and go to Baron. It will probably be taken without a massive contest coming in from Estonian Vipers.
Yeah, right now, Estonian Vipers just completely got out-rotated on the map, dropped the inhibitor, and yeah, we're gonna see that Cloud Soul most likely showing up in the hands of Iron Wolves. Next to that, another split push situation, and most likely just playing around that Baron. The thing is, Iron Wolves can do the same thing, just switch around the lanes, have 3 people just defend, and then have Vayne Malphite kill Baron within literally a matter of seconds. It really doesn't take that long for Saulius with the Silver Bolts and the Rage Blade stacked up all the way to melt down that objective, but as said here, Estonian Vipers cannot contest the Drake. I doubt they can rush the Baron that fast as well, but either way they're gonna try, and they're just dashing and they see the ward, and I think they're just gonna try to do it,
No
but
time. Like legit no time.
yeah,
And
that's
the
way
biggest
too slow.
problem is that Malphite is going to end the game. Like, Argentas also has a TP, so this can be actually a backdoor coming in from Iron Wolves, and the TP is coming in from Malphite. Why did he actually stop? He's split pushing. Now they want to fight Ionatis. Here's the 2-man pull here, and Volibear did manage to ult here. Seth is gonna be dead as well as this Kog'Maw, and Malphite finds the 2-man knockup. Prof is finding a way to kite here, but still no enough damage from him. He's gonna be dead against Saulius. This Vayne gets the double kill, and now Argentas has the TP to end the game.
Morgana?
This run,
Flash pull to cancel the recall actually
yeah,
on the
flash
Kog'Maw.
pull.
I
Wow.
think Morgana here is actually gonna
I mean-
do work. He hit the bind as well, and
Yeah, Kog'Maw definitely wouldn't be able to clear these waves, and the Gantons can close the game out solo. Morgana will hit another bind, and everybody flame Javelins for not hitting those binds. He hit the 2 of them at the most important time of the game. Agentas is destroying the second Nexus turret, and Saulius is coming here to actually try and end the game. Kog'Maw manages to find that recall, but not enough damage for him to actually kill this Heimerdinger. Saulius try to out-attack Nexus, don't kill the Volibear. This will be the killing spree kill going into the favor of Saulius, and he will kill the Suplex as well. Rage Blade is stacked, he can actually try and kill them all here, and minions will probably end the
Saulius?
game by then. Yabut Kaba is also dead, as well as
hit
this
the
Wukong.
Nexus! Why are they trolling? Just
Again,
like 2 basic attacks.
we hit 1 basic attack, dude!
Down.
Really? Is he giving me that over? Really?
Well, okay. Yeah, that was very strange. Agentas as well had like 7 basic attacks. He could have just thrown at the turret as well. I was sure this is the game right here, and I
Yeah,
mean,
when Kog'Maw died, they were like 2 against 1. Just hit the next end the game. They wanted to kill Ruff as well, but now with the Nashers, he has a little bit more of attack speed, so he deals more damage. He out-attacks even more. But this was crazy. This was crazy. I was like 100% sure that this game was over. And now Heimerdinger doesn't have TP. Malphite as well. Nobody can backdoor the base of Estonian Vipers. And the biggest problem with that is that they still didn't get the Baron after that fight. So no other way to actually try and end the game except like Group S5 and running down bot. Which may or may not work out in this case. Also, the Kog'Maw, he has the Zeros Embrace, Liandry's Torment, and almost finished Morlanomicon, and I'm still not seeing what I always want to see against Kog'Maw. A good amount of damage with his ultimates, nobody's dying from that, and Saulius finds another Rage Build proc. Yoft is gonna be alive for some time as well, but this Wukong actually suicide for his jungler to stay alive. Yoft, he has the Volibear ultimate and the Smite and Flash also coming from cooldown in a few seconds. But he's recalling, and this gives a perfect opportunity for Iron Wolves to actually take this Baron. Saulius with the stacked Rage Blade and the Silver Bolts will melt it down pretty fast, and Volibear had no chance at contesting this. Now, basically, for Iron Wolves, just group down mid, group down bot, take the 2 inhibitors and end the game, finally.
yeah, this time you actually hit the Nexus, but either way, they have such a huge lead. Saulius with that Mercurial Scimitar already complete. He's gonna get the extra movement speed, and of course the cleanse effect I talked about. It is pretty much the most important thing for Lulu, because you can then freely just flash into the Lulu. If you get polymorph, just cleanse that and just continue doing the damage. Saulius is incredibly strong, and on top of that, he is level 17, the highest, or actually not the highest level of the game. Malphite is level 18. Deitron will be doing quite a lot in those fights as well, also having almost 300 farm, 31 minutes in. is pretty good for the top laner of Iron Wolves. Tichorn and Saulius now shoving in the top side. Wukong will throw the TP and he's gonna try to flank, but will it be enough?
Yeah, that's a really far TP for the start, and he will manage to find the knockup on the Saulius, but Saulius flashed away, and Malphite also hit his knockup. Here comes the set, finds the Lulu, and let's see what this Kai'Sa can do. His ultimate is a cooldown, and he's trying to kill Saulius, but Saulius is not gonna die that easily. He has 2 lifesteal items and silver balls that will manage to kill everybody on the side of Estonian Vipers. Another kill, another win, another 5-0, or 5-1 ace in favor of Estonian Vipers. I mean, 5 guys on the Estonian Vipers are dead. Iron Wolves will take the fight, and now with the inhibitor on the top lane being destroyed, this will finally be the game for Iron Wolves. It took them like 2 chances to destroy the Nexus, and they're still trying not to destroy it. What? They want to kill Lulu again on the spawn, maybe? Yeah. But Hammer mistimed the respawn. So the Nexus will be dead. Iron Wolves take the win.
Iron Wolves are the best team here, are the better team here against Estonian Vipers. They've won this game, and we'll see how their journey will continue from this point, since they seem to have fun in this game. They didn't want to close out the game when they could have, but they prolonged it a bit more. We'll talk about what happened at the game and why did they do this with Michko and Saina. Okay, you just told me that they prolonged the game. Was it necessary, or were they just having fun? Did they know that they're the better team, and then you know that you're better, and then you're like, okay, let's play some more League of Legends because this is our only game today?
Well, it looked like the Estonian Vipers will not find a way to come back into the game, so maybe they will just like, okay, let's take some more kills before we close out the game, and then Braf managed to find Nasha stood by in the base, and he managed to kill 2 of them and save his Nexus, but still, that buy wasn't enough to actually save the whole game. It just prolonged the his Nexus being destroyed. Also, Saulius was pretty fed on that Vayne, 4 items being completed against Kai'Sa's 3, and Kog'Maw also had 2.5 items, so basically you cannot kill the Vayne. And that happened in the last fight. Saulius was like focused on from the 5 people on the side of Estonian Vipers, and he managed to kill 2 or 3 of them and still stay alive. So he was completely fed in this game. He had a completely free game as well, because he was landing against Kog'Maw, no lane pressure, nothing to actually stop him from scaling, and once the Vayne scales, the game is probably over.
In China, I wanted to talk to you about the draft. We saw a couple of unusual picks. Okay, that Kog'Maw, it was AP Kog'Maw that we saw in our region in EBL that being played, and it was played really well. But on the other side, we saw Heimerdinger being played right now. Do you think we can see more of that, or it was just a pocket pick for the opposing draft to outdraft your opponent?
Well, I think ever since Hjarnan started spamming Heimer on bot like a couple of years ago, Heimer is he's a pretty viable pick bot side. You get that perma shove, you get that lane pressure, you get the early turrets, you can get early rotations as well, and as long as you have physical damage elsewhere, it's not that horrible a pick. So yeah, I think we might see it again from Iron Wolves. Will we see it from other teams? I don't think so, because most EV carry players don't actually play Heimer, and they just prefer playing, as we saw here, maybe Kai'Sa, Ashe, or something else. But yeah, overall, it's a pick that worked, especially them having the plan of running this set along with Vayne in mid lane, so they had enough physical damage, and then Heimer just did work as an AP carry.
And we haven't seen a lot of Vaynes being played all around. Do you think it's a viable pick here, since they had a Kog'Maw that could destroy you from afar?
Well, in every meta, Vayne is a pick that, like, it's not that viable, but if it finds its way to work, it will work. And basically what she needs is a completely safe laning phase, get the 4 items, and then she will stomp everybody with a good front lane. With Sett and Malphite being in the front lane and Heimerdinger zoning everybody with the turrets, it was pretty easy for Saulius to actually like win every single fight single-handedly. But still, he, as Saina said, he was playing against Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw didn't have any lane pressure in that lane. He usually doesn't have as a Kog'Maw, and also every single time Vayne and Kog'Maw actually tried to fight, there was also Sett coming in from behind that Kog'Maw, and Kog'Maw actually couldn't win any single fight of those. So Saulius got 2 or 3 early kills. He managed to maintain 20 to 30 CS more than Kog'Maw throughout the whole game, and actually they gave him the item advantage, level advantage, and with the insane amount of lifesteal, he actually cannot be killed.
In China, since Saulius is the MVP of this match, is this something we wanted to see at the beginning of the Baltic Masters from him? We saw that he was an absolute monster here. He had 11 kills. He got shut down like what two times. But it was at what cost? Because when he lost his life, the whole team was pretty much the opposing team was pretty much dead. Is this something that we want to see more from Saulius?
Well, it really depends. I think this is the way to go if he wants to win. He's playing picks that have... Vayne doesn't have that much pressure early on, but if he scales enough, he's going to carry alone. Opposite to that, he played Fizz, which, again, he got a couple of kills early on, but then he couldn't carry late game. So I think, showmanship-wise, sure, pick the Fizz, pick the Katarina, and try to just snowball early and make plays. But I think if he, wants his team to win, maybe he should actually take the route of scaling laners, maybe play, maybe Vladimir or Ryze, or maybe even play the Ahri, why not? And just try to make sure that if you fall behind, or if your team doesn't snowball as hard, you can still carry in the late game.
Since Saulius was the MVP, we already talked with him. We're gonna talk with the Malphite of this game. It was Deathron, and we'll see what he has to say about that little fun thing that happened around the Nexus. Let's see if we have Deathron on the line. Deathron, greetings from studio, and congratulations on your second victory here in the Baltic Masters.
Hello guys, thank you very much.
How do you feel after this second victory? You guys had one lose here. Now you're coming back strong. It seemed like you were definitely the better team here. What are the feelings here inside your team and both yours?
Well, we're looking really dominant, I think, but my personal performance could be better, so there's always things to improve.
Yeah, well, we'll see in the coming up series. Do you guys think that is it possible for you guys to not lose any more games, and that you're like on a roll right now?
It might be possible if we play a scrim or two. No, we weren't really ready for any game, so we'll see.
And that Malphite pick, is that something that suits you? Are we gonna see more of that?
I play whatever is good. Malphite seemed very good into Volibear and Wukong, so I just picked it, and yeah.
Yeah, definitely makes sense. And that thing that happened around the Nexus, where you guys left the Nexus at like 20 HP, what was it? Was it you just got you guys having fun and going for the kills? What was the story behind it?
Yeah, those were like the fun moments of the game. Yeah, we trolled a bit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Well-
we had it. We knew that we had it.
Yeah. Even though you trolled, you still won the game. Congratulations once again, and we wish you all the best in the coming up matches.
Thank you very much. See
Have
ya.
a good night. Well, yeah, they trolled a bit. Yeah, it seemed like they looked like that. They were running around the Nexus and like, let's get the kills. When you know you're better, you're like, hey, let's get the kills. Yeah, I would do that. I don't know.
Well,
if
you
you
always
guys-
have to get some fun from the games you play.
Yeah. It's not only like let's play competitive, let's stay focused.
Let's
right?
stomp everybody.
Yeah,
Let's
you have to have some fun. Yeah, definitely. Well, after this second game, we'll head on to our last third game of the night. We'll see if we're gonna see someone having fun here, because this third game is gonna be played between Kenty and a team that might just have fun, just for fun. Stay tuned. We're gonna have a short break and then we're gonna come back.
A pair of jeans, a shirt or two. We didn't pack as if we weren't going back. It doesn't matter if it's true. I've got a feeling love will give us what we lack. The world is waiting up. The world is waiting half a step beyond our door. Yeah. And if it's not enough, I wanna see the stuff the world has got in store. I wanna take it all in, I'm falling. The cityscape by night, wanna catch in my photos. Where you go, every corner twice as bright. They'll be my treasures forever. When I can't hold you tight, I'll see the Stockholm lights. The Stockholm lights, the Stockholm lights. Tomorrow feels a year away, like the seconds, the beginning and the end. But if in time it's yesterday, your picture's gonna bring it home to me again. The world is waiting up. The world is waiting half a step beyond our door. And if it's not enough, I wanna see the stuff the world has got in store. I wanna take it all in, I'm falling. The cityscape by night, wanna catch in my photos. Where you go, every corner twice as bright. They'll be my treasures forever. When I can't hold you tight, I'll see the Stockholm lights. The Stockholm lights, the Stockholm lights. I'll see the Stockholm lights, the Stockholm lights, the Stockholm lights.
And we're off to our last game, Kenty versus Just for Fun. Let's see if Kenty can make a comeback, since they are the last team on the scoreboard with the score of 0-2. They've lost both their games that were played last week. Just for Fun team that we thought here that they are playing just for fun, but they then showed us that they indeed can play some League of Legends. So let's see. What can we expect from this matchup? Here with me in the studio, again, as always, Michiko and Saina. Guys, Kenty, as we mentioned, they have a roster change, I believe, this mid lane. Michiko, do you think Kenty is now making a miracle comeback from 0-2? They're coming back, they're stronger than ever.
Maybe they will be better, but I'm not really sure that they will like go from bottom to top in like 1 week or two, because even though their mid laner was underperforming like really much, other lanes didn't like play their best League of Legends ever, and the guy was actually like slowing them down and so losing the game for them. So maybe he will like be better. He will fit better in the team. Maybe they will have a better communication, better synergy, and everything else. And maybe Kenty will become a better team. But so far, they still offer a game from them in this roster. So we have to see what will happen.
Yeah, let's see what are the roster changes. We're going to head into the lineups of these two teams. Kenty versus Just for Fun. Kenty, Smuckler, Barsas. Afting is here, swapping the mid laner that was playing before for Kenty. Eonis and Iron are on the side of Kenty. On the side of Just for Fun, there are Welcome, Yanax, Domas, Cyrex, and Mercenary. Sina, do you think that this change of mid lane is gonna change how Kenty plays here? That they are gonna show us a different kind of play style, or maybe a different kind of level of League of Legends, since we haven't seen that much from them.
Well, to be fair, yeah, the 2 games they lost, their mid laner was significantly behind, so I don't think that it can really be worse in terms of mid lane. Yeah, no offense, but he didn't really perform all that well, and there might be a lot of factors behind it. Now that they know, okay, so our mid laner, we're starting from scratch. I believe that a roster swap also resets the mentality of the players, so maybe they're feeling a little bit down. Today they're not going to play like they're 0-2, they're going to play like they're 0-0, and I think that might help them out quite a lot. And yeah, honestly, I think they're going to perform a lot better than they did last week.
And who would you give your vote, since we just talked about how Kenty might perform good just for fun? We saw them play. Those guys can't play League of Legends. They lost their game, but they also won one game. Mishko, who would you vote here for? What's your prediction?
Well, since the good performance from Kenty is still as a might, and Just for Fun, actually, they did lose that one game, but it was a pretty close game that could have ended into their favor as well. And the second game, they stomped Infamous pretty hard, so I'm still gonna stay at like Just for Fun's side, and hopefully it will be as well as fun is good.
Yeah. Saina, are you staying on Just for Fun side, or you're going to the competitive side of Kenty?
No, for the sake of the desk, I'm going to say Kenty, because that way one of us is going to have a 100% hit ratio today, so I think that's...
Ooh, that's nice. Yeah, that's true. That's true. And audience voted for Iron Wolves in the last match, and you guys voted for it, and we got a Iron Wolves match. So let's see how you voted on Instagram. It's 57 Kenty and 43 Just for Fun. So yeah, we'll see. Audience is on the side of Saina now. Kenty, maybe because of their name, and maybe because they've saw on Twitter that Kenty's gonna have a new mid laner, so they are, you know, like, let's go Kenty, comeback is real. So we'll see if comeback is really real for Kenty here. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going into our third game. We're gonna watch Kenty play against Team Just for Fun. Kenty is the team that has 0-2 on the scoreboard. We'll see if they can have first victory in the Baltic Masters. Stay tuned, because we're going into the Champion Select.
Take my hand, don't be afraid. A love like ours just can't be tamed. Take my heart, just feel the beat. We'll leave tonight and run free into the world.
jump into game number 3, the final game of the day, and we're going to see who's going to end up on top. We're watching, of course, Kenty and justforfun. Kenty did replace their mid laner, and we're going to see if that's going to do anything for them. On Summoner's Rift, on the other side, justforfun 1-1, of course, trying to break from the middle pack, go to the upper side of the scoreboard. And we're going to see if it's going to happen here, but either way, Michko, what are we expecting here? Do we expect Kenty to maybe play around the middle laner more, or do we just expect them to play their own game and just, you know, pick something standard mid?
Depending on the scrims, though, to be honest. I mean, if they played a lot of scrims with that new mid laner, maybe they will play around him, maybe they will give him the comfort picks. I mean, we still don't know much about him, what champions he does play, and does he love the meta picks, or he loves something more personal, like maybe some picks like Kari, LeBlanc. I don't really know what, maybe Veigar again, who knows, but justforfun, yeah, they want to win that game. If they win the game, they will be 2-1. They will be in the top 3. If they lose the game, we will have 4 teams with a score of 1 and 2. So definitely looks like an interesting part of the bottom table, and 4 teams then will probably be in the chance of qualifying for the playoffs. But not to hurry. There's still like how much more games to be played. This is the third game, so 7 more to go. Basically, it's too early to actually decide which teams will make the playoffs. Justforfun starts with the Syndra ban. Kenty banning that set. Welcome after that 1v2 on the top lane in the last match for justforfun. Definitely will be get target banned by that. And Zoe also for the mid lane. Maybe it tells us something about certain champions being picked. Maybe some Zero or maybe Corki, but Zero will be banned also by the Kenty side. Ezreal and Volibear probably for the last 2 bans on the side of justforfun. So, well, first pick Trash. I mean, it's a good support pick, but we haven't seen it getting picked so fast, so early so far in any league mostly.
Yeah, pretty much, especially because of the fact that you know, you can still counterpick Trash quite a lot, and on the other side there is quite a bunch of power picks left open. I mean, there is still that Varus that keeps getting perma-banned. Ezreal, with Ezreal being banned, of course, Aphelios getting pumped up in the rating as well. Ashe is an AD carry too, so there's a lot of ADs left open, and Karma is going to get picked. We see that quite often, running the Karma into the trash, because you get that movement speed, you can dodge the death sentence, and of course Varus, who is pretty much banned all the time. Aphelios is going to be the answer there, but again, Karma can still be flexed, and you can pick up a Nautilus or even a Blitzcrank. I love Blitzcrank into trash, and it's not too bad into the Aphelios as well, so if they can play Blitz, maybe they can pull that out as well. Karma, again, something we've seen in EBL being played in the top lane, being played in the mid lane as well, so it's very good first pick, or just in general picked early on. The draft phase. Trundle here also very early, because again, you can counterpick that too. So Kenty so far, just it feels like they're picking counterpicks and saying we don't care what we play against.
Well, I like it. Honestly, I like it. Every time we see Varus, we see on the other side a Thresh, Aphelios and Trundle, and that Varus gets completely disastered on the bot lane. So honestly, I think it's good. I mean, yeah, as you said, they can be counterpicked. Yeah, that Trundle actually got counterpicked with the Kindred, but also Kindred on level 2, level 3 won't do much, but Trundle hitting a pillar on level 2 and Thresh hitting the full combo as well as the Aphelios means that Varus is dead. So I'm liking what I see, although if this game like lasts a little bit longer, Kindred could actually be a good counterpick for the Trundle as well. On the other side, on the Kenty, yeah, that Aphelios will completely destroy Varus in the late game if his scale is good enough. Orianna, yeah, also a really good pick for justforfun as a blind pick. It can work pretty good, but also the main problem for her is that Trundle as well. If he lands one pillar with aggressive mid laner, that's probably a kill on the side of Kenty. Corki is open from the meta mid laners, and actually a pretty nice cover. They will have a good scaling in the AD on the Aphelios, good scaling in the magic damage as well on the Corki, and actually against Orianna Kindred, I'm not really sure if he will die anyway.
Yeah, as far as the top lane for justforfun goes, they could go for Malphite, but how much do you want to play Malphite into Trundle? So I think their alternative could be Wukong, but again, Wukong into Poppy might not be ideal either. So I kind of like what Kenty is doing regarding blocking the top side, because you pick the Trundle in the attempt of denying tanks, then you pick the Poppy in the attempt of denying any carries, because most carries top lane have a form of dash and they can be completely locked down. So I'm actually very curious to see whether they're still going to go for the Wukong and say we don't really care. Again, risky into the Poppy. Are they going to go Malphite and say we don't really care about the Trundle here? Again, Malphite is very good with that Orianna, and yeah, I guess that's going to be the case. Again, Malphite being slightly better than Wukong just because they have Varus, they have Kindred, so that's a lot of physical damage already. They want a little bit more magic damage here. I'm kind of curious what the matchup is going to be regarding the runes. Poppy rocking the Grasp, and Malphite, again, maybe press the attack, maybe goes for the Grasp. I doubt he's going to go comment into Poppy because she's just too tanky to care about the poke.
Yeah, definitely, and also in the late game, Malphite Orianna combo with probably Varus being there, also with the Chain of Corruption and full combo with the Lethality build, it can work pretty good. The main problem with that comp is Corki, who can like legit dash away, and also there's the Poppy who can maybe try and focus down Orianna and Varus, so they both cannot use their ultimates, and Malphite is the only one ulting. Malphite, his ulti deals like 150 damage with the full tank build, and then Corki and Aphelios can just kite him down till death and kill the other people on the side of Just for Fun after the Malphite is dead. So maybe it can work, maybe it cannot, but Malphite Orianna, we've seen that already. It didn't work out that well. They won a single fight in the ABL matchup against Crvena Zvezda and Crazy?
Yeah, Crazy.
Yeah, that was a good fight, and also they played against Kindred, so they waited for the Kindred ulti to be over, then ulti, but this time the Kindred is on the side of Just for Fun, so if there happens a situation where Jeskla is focused down, Jenxes, sorry, if Jenxes gets focused down and forced to ulti, and he's standing next to Corki the Phileas, the Malphite Orianna combo can actually be completely wasted with the Kindred ultimate, so he has to be really focused about where he's standing, what he's doing, because one bad Kindred ulti can actually destroy the whole combo from Just for Fun. Also, I like the comment on the Mercenary, which means that we will have also the poke karma, and not only the poke, whereas on the side of Just for Fun bot lane, Aphelios and Thresh will have a hard time surviving that, but as I said, with Trundle in the early game and Thresh, one flay into one pillar, and that's probably a kill for the Kenty's bot lane, and Iron is famous for playing the Thresh pretty good, so I'm expecting to see something on that bot side.
Yeah, it's going to be quite interesting, especially because of the way Corki applies damage. Even though he's a magic damage dealer, he needs to right-click quite a lot, which means that if Malphite ends up building a Frozen Heart and applies the E on the Corki, Corki will barely do any damage because he will not get to basic attack with all the attack speed reduction. So overall, it could be quite an interesting combo. Afting and Ionis do have to be careful about the way they position. They have to be split one from the other, considering that Trundle, Poppy, Trash don't really care if they get ulted, as long as they don't all get ulted together. Chances getting that red buff, of course. Playing the Kindred, having kites, will not take all that much damage. Welcome, just regen his shield, and as you talked about the runes, getting the grasp, so he is looking to scale as well. Yeah, so far we expect a pretty passive start, maybe around the first crab. We might see a fight because it usually really depends on how much pressure you have in the lane where the mark spawns. So if, for example, Varus Karma, they should keep pushing bot side. If Kindred gets to mark bot side, it's going to be ideal, because in case a fight breaks out, Kindred having the range and having the bot lane that's going to move first will be quite incredible for the jungler of Just for Fun. I think I don't like this trade necessarily, even though Gatlingan is very good in extended trades. I feel like those three ranged minions hitting you for 12 to 14 damage each is going to mean that you still do not win the trade. And we're going to find out what happens to the Mark Kindred. Is he actually he's just running in? Okay, he did ward, and he will do some damage now to Barsus as well. We can see Kindred here. One more basic attack would mean quite a large chunk of health, but who connects bot side?
Yeah, who connects to the Mercenary, but he has to be careful. He's already got hit with that Ignite. Barca trying to chase down Jax, and as we see, Afting has that Valkyrie. Will he flash over the wall trying to kill the Kindred? Actually, he will not, and Domus doesn't have the ball already with him, and two flashes forced from the side of just for fun. Afting and Barses did an incredible job. That aggressive Valkyrie coming from Corki forced the flash on Kindred, and after that Oriana didn't have the ball, no bonus movement speed, phase rush on the cooldown. Thomas has to flash over the wall so he can survive as well. Barses, if he had like a few more seconds on the pillar cooldown, I'm 100% sure that he would flash over the wall and try to chase down that Oriana. Now he will get hit by the mercenary, and Varus is channeling the piercing arrow after the root from Karma. An awesome combo from Varus and his support. Mercenary waited for the snare to be applied, and then Syrax using the piercing arrow with the W bonus execute damage. Easy first blood for the side of Just for Fun, and also Varus now has the double buffs, which is the biggest problem for Kenty side. He will have the infinite mana now, which means he can poke really often without thinking about mana. And besides that, he also has the 2 stacks of crafting potion remaining in his inventory, so it will be hard for Eonis and Iron to actually stay alive on the bot lane. Thomas, Oriana flash is on cooldown, and Trundle is coming on the mid lane. Mana is also the problem for this. Oriana manages to find the W, and Afting 1 out attack! It will not happen, and Oriana still stays alive after this. Forcing also the flash from this Trundle, and Kindred is coming from behind. His Corki is pretty low on HP, and Jackson is trying to focus him down, but so far Trundle is doing the awesome work of body blocking, so no kills for this Kindred. Nor the Oriana. Teleport already used in the mid lane, and Thomas came back in the mid lane and lost 50 HP, 50% HP only from the minions, forcing to use that crafting potion to heal back up. Corki also recalling probably for the tier, and both mid laners are gonna start stacking.
Yeah, we will see an interesting fight in the mid lane. Barses, of course, walking up so his mid laner doesn't get in trouble. Pickaxe is gonna be bought on Corki and on Aphelios, of course. Corki naturally wanted to start with the tier because he can't stack it at will, especially prior to level 6. With the pickaxe, he will do quite a decent amount of damage. Have that lane pressure, and then in 2.5 minutes, once his package spawns, he can just go back, get that level 6, get the package, potentially even a gank a different lane, but for the time being, the only one kill on the bot side here. Varus might have to flash Iron. He's trying to set up so he predicts the flash, but Cyrax so calm, so collected. It was a 50-50. If he flashed, he was dead 100%. If he didn't flash, there was a chance to get hooked and maybe even die, but then he wouldn't use his flash. So I think this is the smarter call to make in this situation.
Yeah, Thomas is trying to catch Afting here. He will land the Shocky, but the ball was placed incorrectly. It actually helped the Corki run away. Thomas used the ball behind the Corki, and the Shocky actually pulled him away from the Kindred, so Jackson didn't find a way to catch the mid laner from the side of Kenty. No kills, no damages, no summoners wasted as well. So Kenty still have the flash on that Kog'Maw, and Barses as a level 5 Trundle not really in the situation to contest this Drake. No subjugate, no flash. He does have the smite, but it will be pretty risky against 3 people. So the first dragon goes into favor of Just for Fun. That Mountain Drake will boost their defensive stats, mostly in the Malphite. In that top lane, he still hasn't recalled, and crafting potion into... What the hell is this Kindred doing? He actually tried to bait Corki into fighting with him, so Oriana can take that kill, but Oriana didn't have the ultimate, which actually made this trade completely weird. And Jaxus now has like just a little over 200 HP, and now that he saw this Trundle doing the Scuttler, he actually has to fall back and do this red buff. Barses knows how low Kindred is, and maybe he can try and counter jungle it. No red buff being stolen here, and also with the Trundle having no flash, that means he will not catch the Kindred. Thomas can be in some problems here, places the ball, so if the Barses starts chasing him, he can use the command dissonance to slow the Trundle, and then him nor the Corki will catch up to this Oriana. Shocky was on the cooldown, so that was the only defensive option for the red side mid laner. First plate also being destroyed in the bot side, and Syrax will get the bonus 160 gold, recalling for probably the complete Umbral Glaive if he has enough gold for that. Yeah. no boots, but that shouldn't be a problem as long as he keeps the distance and uses the piercing arrows. Also, the crafting potion will provide him enough mana to spam the Qs, and the passive from the item can destroy the enemy wards, making it easy for Just for Fun to rotate to the Herald and take it without any contest.
Yeah, we're gonna see the rotation coming in. Karma and Varus going topside, of course. The Dragon did fall, so in the next 3 minutes, Just for Fun wants to contest the Rift Herald and then potentially swap back and fight for the second Drake. Of course, this game, Ocean or Infernal Soul, is gonna be what's waiting for us on the Summoner's Rift. And I feel like either way, it's gonna be pretty good. Kenty would love to get that that Ocean Soul, of course, especially against the Varus, heal up a little bit, but then again, Infernal Soul is just so valuable in the late game, especially with the fact that both Corki and Varus can apply it very easily at a huge range. Jenxas is gonna walk up here. Barca is just cutting that corner, going for the Kindred, doing decent damage, but here comes reinforcements.
Yeah, Barca has the subjugate but used on the Kindred, so Jenxas will not die that easily. Land Respite is gonna be used and Barca is gonna survive for now. That Ignite won't kill him, and the flash for Cyrex
Oh my god.
doesn't kill the Trundle. I think can be some problems here. I mean, Corki does have the Valkyrie as well as the package, as well as the flash, so he will not be chased down that easily by Orianna. And Just for Fun, they managed to at least not kill the Trundle, but still put him low enough so he has to recall, which means that Jenxas can take this Herald with the help from his bot lane. Xerox does have the Chain of Corruption. Will he use it here? The answer is no. I was hoping for maybe Lantern Predict with the Varus ultimate, cancelling the Aphelios' possibilities of running away. But despite that, Just for Fun got the objective they wanted to take, and that Herald can be used on some lanes. Orianna doesn't have the pry over Corki, so maybe the mid lane is not the perfect place for the Herald to be used. Top lane probably, with the Varus Karma constantly poking, constantly pushing Thresh and Aphelios under the tower. With the Kindred 3 against 2 plus the Herald, towers can go down pretty quickly, and also in the bot lane, 2 tanks constantly fighting with each other. If Kindred comes with some amount of AD, Poppy can probably be forced away from the tower, but yeah, her ultimate can be used as a disengage to destroy the Herald and decline those bonus golds from the side of Just for Fun. And also with Poppy stacking a lot of armor against his Malphite, that means that even Kindred ganking probably won't change much. I think he has that package in his hands now, and Drake is gonna spawn in 25 seconds, so maybe a good opportunity for Kenty to try and force a fight. They lost the previous one over the neutral objective, and maybe with the Corki having the package and Aphelios almost completing the first item can actually help them in taking this Drake. But still, Varus has the upper hand in the itemization as well as this Orianna, so it will be pretty hard for Kenty to actually contest this fight. But now things look a little bit easier. Cyrex has face checked the bush, filled with 2 people from the side of Kenty, and that's gonna be an easy kill going into Iron's hands. Barca is always there, and Aphelios can always rotate from the bot lane to this Drake. Kindred is still alive, has the flash, has the smite. He can try. Oh, nice hook from Iron, but Jenxas still doesn't die. Now Eonis kills him. Shock will hit on this Aphelios, and he will be forced to flash away. Smackler has the TP. He's trying to probably disengage here. Poppy still has the ultimate. He can use it to kick everybody away. But this damage on Aphelios and Trundle and Corki looks to me as a possibility for a Cloud Drake for Just for Fun. I think he has the Valkyrie, and Smackler still wants to fight in the bot lane, but nothing will happen. Their Karma and Varus are staying relatively safe now.
Yeah, Iron with quite a lot of good hooks and almost connecting one more on Domus. That would be ideal for the Orianna. Again, quite squishy at this point of the game. We see Welcome just tanking up that Drake. Dragon falling quite low, and we're most likely going to see another fight. Mercenary actually zoning Corki on his own, which is something that shouldn't really happen at this point of the game, getting zoned by level 7 Karma. And I think here being forced to walk back. Second Dragon for Just for Fun. Meanwhile, they're doing a full rotation mid. Jenks has the Herald, and he's most likely going to use it.
Yeah, probably. Let's see how much damage they can do to this tower. Yeah, another plate is gonna be destroyed. Jaxus now has the Lamb Respite and he can use it to actually try and survive. Herald will charge this tower and give enough gold for just for fun. 4 turret plate will not be destroyed, so no more gold for the red side. But still 3 plates in the mid lane, and Herald was used pretty good. They maybe could have used it on some other lane, maybe to get the whole tower, but still, if we count down the destroyed plates on this map, just for fun, have all the destroyed plates. 2 in the bot lane, 3 in the mid lane, so bonus of 800 gold into their hands is not that bad. Jenxus coming to the top lane, he has the warrior enchantment and another long sword, but Poppy is pretty healthy, 100% HP, and she has the ultimate to disengage. Here comes the TP from this Corki, and Poppy manages to find a CC lock on this Kindred. Jenxus finds the way to use the Lamb Respite, but I think he's gonna kill him right after the Kindred ulti ends. Welcome, needs 1 Q, but he flashes to find the auto attack on this Corki, and now let's see who wins the tank fight. Welcome tries to smack the Smackler, but the hammer from this Poppy actually deals more damage. He will find a way to flash the Shockwave. Domus provides enough movement speed for Welcome to actually try and catch up to this Poppy, but flash comes from Oriana. Last auto attack will kill the Smackler here. Nice kill for the just for fun mid laner, but he was forced to flash away.
Yeah, he was forced to use that Summoner Flash boxes. Meanwhile, we see creating some pressure up in the mid lane. Cyrex Mercenary rotating and leaning bot lane, kind of exposed. Aphelios getting the free farm, and again, he's just waiting for those 2 items. He wants the Hurricane, he wants the Infinity Edge so far, does not even have the BF sword. So everyone is here struggling a little bit, but again, it's just a matter of time before he does what Aphelios does the best, and that's completely shred the enemy team. Will have to be careful about the Malphite and his ult, but as long as he dodges that, he should be more than fine. Iron here, hooking the Malphite, not quite what you wanna aggress towards. Fight with the Sunfire here, Mercenary doing some damage here. Karma actually quite dangerous at this point of the game. And we are going to see, I believe, a fight around the Herald. We can see pings from the red team going towards that Herald. It is spawning in a couple of seconds, and I think right now, just for fun, as long as they wait for the ults, they should be contesting the Herald, because they have enough time. It's 2 minutes till Drake. It's gonna give you enough to reset, to get the vision around Drake's side, and to try and get the third dragon going towards the Ocean Soul Malphite. Still bot side though, no teleport, which tells me they might not be ready to fight for the Herald.
Well, Malphite is on the bot lane and he doesn't have the TP, so I'm not really sure if they will actually try and force the fight around it. Varus also completed the Edge of Night, so now he has the spell shield for surviving the Kenty side, but there's no much things that can actually hit him in the back line, so I'm not really sure why Edge of Night. Also, he has the boots, and Ionis still no Infinity Edge, but he has completed that BF sword we talked about, so maybe Aphelios now can deal a good amount of damage. Jaxus has the Lamb's Bite, doesn't have the flash. Let's see what they can do with this Herald. It is on half HP, and Barces ran away, as well as Iron, as well as Ionis, and just for fun will retake this Herald. Barces, and he is forced to flash away. Let's see what can Poppy do. He misses the ultimate, and another Herald goes into favor of just for fun. Jenxus doesn't even need the smite, since this Trundle was at 50% HP, and with the flash being on cooldown, no way for him to actually steal this, and no global ults or anything longer range that can hit the Herald, so he doesn't go into just for fun's hands. Now let's see what they actually do with that Herald. The first turret in the game on the mid lane was destroyed without the Herald, although it did help taking down 3 turret plates, and turret in the bot lane also is on a little bit less than 50% HP, so the usage of Rift Herald on the bot side can actually destroy the whole turret. But the First Ocean Drake has spawned on the map now, and Poppy has the TP. She can try and contest this, but as we can see, the Kenty side doesn't actually want to fight for this Drake, so just for fun, after their second Herald in this game, they managed to find the third Drake as well for them, putting them only on one Ocean Drake, far from having the Ocean Soul.
Yeah, one more Drake, and they're gonna have it just for fun in a pretty decent spot in this game. As far as Kenty goes, they still need to wait. We can see Corki not having more mana, not having that Trinity Force complete just yet. Same goes for Aphelios. They basically, the thing is, they have the double threat comp, they have the Corki Aphelios combo, and if they don't have their core damage items, they will not be able to win fights straight up. So it's gonna drastically spike. As soon as we see the Hurricane and Trinity Force along with the Muramana, the team fight potential of Kenty is gonna massively spike because they can just sit in the back, completely split, so Malphite can't ult them both. Malphite has no magic resist so far, which means that Corki can do quite a lot of damage. As far as their front lane goes, Smackler, Barsus, as long as they have any tanky items, they're gonna be more than fine. Meanwhile, on the side of Just for Fun, it will be how well can they execute their fights. Their fights actually being a little bit more difficult to execute properly, considering that, again, as you mentioned early on into the game, Ichiko, Kindred cannot ult. If it's gonna give Kenty the safe spot to run from the Malphite Orianna combo, and as well Malphite Orianna do have to get more than, let's say, one person, which is something we saw quite a lot. When we see this Malphite Orianna combo, them just ulting a single person that's not even the carry of the enemy team. So
I have one question for you. Does this Malphite skin look like he deals more damage? Every time he uses the W and starts hitting the auto attacks, the animation looks like he has a Titanic Hydra. And with the Titanic Hydra in his build, he will do more damage with auto attacks.
it's the Phoenix
I mean,
Malphite,
it's a stupid question, I know, but it's a pretty good skin. In the meantime, I think it's gonna die in the top lane without using the flash, so not really that big of a deal, but still the Varus got his second kill. Corki's on the death timer. He still hasn't completed the Trinity Force. Neither got the Muramana, and now Just for Fun starts this Baron, but the blue trinket on this side of this Aphelios actually gave Kenty some vision over the Baron pit, so Just for Fun decided not to chase for that Baron. Jax's really weird usage of this Herald. I'm like 100% sure that he thought he has the trinket in his hands. He flashed away, even though he had the ultimate and Welcome was TPing to the top side of the map. Maybe he wanted to bait Kenty side flash for him. Smackler gonna be hit with this shockwave and good damage coming in from this Varus. I was expecting maybe that piercing arrow to come a few seconds later, so he could have the biggest bonus possible on that W, but he decided to use it a little bit earlier, so Smackler survives without using the flashes, and there it is. Kenty, they lost the Corki, they, if I can say, won the fight because they basically forced one flash and one TP as well, but didn't waste any summoners of their own.
yeah, so far still a pretty extended game. Just for fun, of course, just looking for those dragons, not really in a hurry. Meanwhile, Kenty waiting for that spike. Or repeat what I said a couple of minutes ago. Still no more Mana, Trinity Force, still no Hurricane. So Kenty needs to wait for their carries, but the big issue is they have 1 minute. Now there's no more open room to wait. Sure, you can drop the Ocean Soul, you can just play without it. It's not gonna completely lose you the game, no, but again, there's only so much you can drop to the enemy team before they just become too strong for you, and it's a very tough call that Kenty has to make now. If you fight for the Ocean Soul without your carries having the core items, you lose the fight. You're gonna lose Baron, that's most likely gonna be the game as well. On the other side, can you afford to drop that Ocean Soul so that you can actually contest the Baron, so that your carries actually get the core items? A very difficult choice to make for the shot caller of Kenty. We're gonna see, and that is just such a painful amount of damage coming in from Aphelios. Again, he still has barely an item and a half.
Yeah, but once the Rune's Hurricane is completed, he will destroy 16 damage. Well, only in situations where actually this Aphelios gets a chance to use some of his auto attacks on this Varus Mercenary. Not gonna get hooked by this Thresh, even though the pillar did hit onto him. Now Kenty, Poppy trying to find the flanking position, and so far only Karma can get hit by the Poppy flank. But a very important fight for the Kenty side. They cannot lose this Drake no matter what. And Iron loses 50% of his HP, as well as this Cork and Smackler now trying to focus down Mercenary. Barca's use the Subjugate onto this Malphite, and let's see what they can do. Awesome knock-up hit from the Malphite. Also the shock event. Corky is dead, as well as Thresh, as well as Trundle, and only Aphelios alive, as well as this Poppy, but Poppy doesn't do damage at all. Smackler is gonna be dead, and Domas gets the triple kill. Only Ionis is alive on the side of Kenty, as just for fun, taking down the 4th Drake and getting that Ocean Soul into their hands.
And as I said, they went for the call to contest, and now they just lost the fight, and as I said, they're most likely going to lose Baron too, so Kenty made the difficult call to contest the Soul. I'm pretty sure this is going to cost them the game. Sure, now they're going to get the Spice, they're going to get the Trinity Force, but then you're fighting an Ocean Soul Baron up team of Just for Fun, who is just looking so strong right now. Oriana, 403 right now. Malphite as well, 204. Just really good across the board here. Meanwhile, having that Varus to support from behind, just throwing those arrows, doing so much damage. And yeah, this is going to be completely free Baron. They cannot contest Barses. You can see how far he is. No way to smite contest that. And Just for Fun, they have everything they need with the Ocean Soul and the Baron buff. They can infinitely siege, just go down one lane, let Varus spook, and the rest of you just kill the turrets.
Yeah, and also unlucky for Ionis in this situation. He had those small range, short range weapons, so there wasn't a possibility from him to actually hit a Q, maybe out attack, and still that Baron out smite the Kindred. But no matter what, he got that Rune of Hurricane after this fight, so maybe he can actually try and do some damage in the next team. The main problem for him is that he isn't able to actually hit those out attacks. Every time he wants to step up and try to do something, Malphite is in the range of using the Unstoppable Force, and every time he wants to use the ultimate, Aphelios mustn't be in that range, so Aphelios isn't using those out attacks pretty good. Now, welcome, hitting the knock-up again on this Corky, and Oriana Shocky wasn't there, but Corky is gonna be probably... Oh, he's not gonna die here, and Smackler using the Poppy ultimate to disengage, hitting Malphite, Varus, and this is Kindred, so 3 guys hit away, and Kenty will not lose a man, but they did lose a fight. Corky has to recall, the other players on their side will probably have to recall, as well as this Trundle, maybe the Poppy as well, but Just for Fun have 5 guys with the Baron buffs, and also the Demolisher. This inhibitor turret will probably gonna be dead. Domas has the shock. I'm waiting for that Oriana ball already being moved, so no able for Domas to hit the shockwave again, and inhibitor in the mid lane is gonna get destroyed. Pings being used in the bot lane. New wave is there. New wave is also coming, so 2 minion waves for Just for Fun. With this Baron buff, they can easily take down this tier 2 turret.
Yeah, I said they have pretty much infinite siege here on the side of Just for Fun, and Kenty cannot afford to keep trading here. Cyrox just needs to keep spamming those arrows. He shouldn't really even be concerned about killing the turret as much. He has Karma, he has the Oriana. Meanwhile, who connects, and we're gonna see another fight potentially, but just a disengage comes, and Malphite with the ult.
Malphite Oriana combo manages to kill down this Thresh and also the Trundle. Not the targets they wanted actually, but again, with no frontline, Ionis adapting will be dead pretty easily if the fight continues. We can see the poke from Varus doing a good amount of damage, and welcome TPing back. This minion will stay alive for a few more seconds, and now the turret is gonna be destroyed. Just for Fun using this Baron pretty good. 20 seconds on the Baron timer. No third inhibitor for them from it, but they can try to end the game. Not enough time, to be honest. 5 seconds until Thresh, same amount of time until Trundle gets revived, and maybe it's more than they can chew, but as we can see, they are still trying. Both next turrets are gonna be dead. Janxus is pretty low on his HP, but nobody's focusing down this Varus. He can poke pretty good, but one guy is already dead. They can try and force the fight here. Kenty, they have a pretty good Aphelios right now with the executioner calling with the 50% crit chance, but Ionis doesn't have the front line to keep him alive, and he cannot deal damage against the Just for Fun side. Here comes the TP from the Orianna. Let's see if they can destroy the Nexus before Kenty actually kills them all. That will not happen. Veers gets 2 kills, Orianna finds another, and that will be a win for Just for Fun.
Matchup finishes with Just for Fun taking the victory, and now they have a 2-1 on the scoreboard. These guys definitely are not here for fun. We're going to talk about what happened in this game with Michko and Sign, of course. Guys, I think this is, as I saw the draft, this is what was the most common draft that we've seen in a while in Baltic Masters. I think from the first match. First match was all meta picks that you usually see in larger leagues. And this game was, after that first game last week, day one, was the most common picks that we've seen.
Yeah, maybe this was even the most common one, because that first game had the Kaisa, which is not played that much, only into the Ezreal, but now we saw the Aphelios into Varus matchup, and yeah, we saw it. We saw why Varus is banned every single game. He has so much lane pressure even against the Thresh and Aphelios and Trundle, who can kill him pretty easily in the early game. He managed to secure some early game kills, and he was always one item or more ahead of that Aphelios. I mean, his itemization is also pretty cheaper, so he can build the items faster, easily. But the amount of things that Kenty gave to Just for Fun in the early game is pretty sad. I mean, they got 4 Drakes, both Heralds, not a single objective was taken by Kenty, and also only the last one was actually trying to be contested. So pretty poor side from Kenty. They did have the Aphelios and Corki, they did have the scaling that can actually out-damage the Just for Fun draft in the late game, but they actually didn't manage to find enough time to for this game to last that long so they can scale enough.
Kenty had an opening at some point of the game to turn this game into their advantage, because we see the it was pretty much one-sided match.
Well, technically, yeah, they could have played a lot more proactive on the map. I feel like they didn't really get enough scrim time. That's what it feels like to me looking at this game, because they just left everything open on the map. They didn't trade objectives. They didn't actually try to speed up the farming on their carries, give them some solo XP, give them some solo waves as well, just so they can get to the spike items fast, because again, you're fighting for the Ocean Soul. Meanwhile, your 2 carries do not have 2 complete items. Aphelios just on the Infinity Edge and the Zeal, and Corki not having that phage to wrap up with the Trinity Force. So yeah, just not enough. And on the other side, Just for Fun, they weren't too aggressive, but they didn't need to be. They knew, okay, we have that Varus to constantly poke. If we can secure the Ocean Soul, even if we take some damage, we can heal it up. And then once Varus opens up the enemy team a little bit, gets enough piercing arrows to connect, we're just going to follow up with the Malphite, with the Orianna, and just confirm the fight.
Do you think how does Just for Fun look right now? After this game where we saw them picking, we saw that the Domas is the MVP here, picking that Oriana mid, and we saw some of the let's say meta picks being played, and they were quite well executed by players from Just for Fun side. How do they look like? We'll talk about that, but first we're gonna go to an interview with Thomas. He's gonna tell us how was it playing that mid lane. Thomas, congratulations on your second victory here on the Baltic Masters, and hello from the studio.
Hello, thank you.
We just commented that this is maybe the most common picks that we've seen from game one at the Baltic Masters. Are we gonna see more of those like meta picks from you guys?
Well, I don't know, we just practiced more of team fight compositions and it worked for us, and we just wanted to play what's meta. But I don't know, Baltic Masters always had their own meta, and like certain champion types or like compositions worked differently than the current meta, so I don't know, maybe we will see something more spicy.
And since you guys have that lose on your by your name, now you guys are 2-1. What are the standings in the team with the communication between you guys? Are you, of course, you're aiming high, but do you think you can, let's say, beat 5 Kings in the next coming up your duel?
Well, I think that our team communication is pretty fine considering that we lost the first game. I think we bounced pretty well. And thinking about our next games, well, we will have to improve on a lot of things because there was quite a lot of chaos. But I think we can show what our true potential is, and we can beat anyone. But yeah, it just depends on us how hard we will work for the current split.
The last I wanted to ask you about your preparation for like matches that you guys are having in each week. Are you guys basing your strategy and tactic based on what they played last week, or you're watching like their games from even before?
Oh, honestly, no, we didn't, because well, we beat Team Infamous. I think that beat Kenty, so we thought that maybe we should like focus on like better teams and maybe not copy, but like just to find our playstyle, which doesn't really rely on opponents, no? So yeah, so we just focus on ourselves.
Thomas, thank you for the interview, and we wish you all the best in the coming up matches.
Thank you.
Have a good night. We heard that he said that they're not focusing that much on watching them, since Kenty is, as we see now, the least prepared team, I would say. Are you a bit disappointed of Kenty, since they had that mid laner change, and now they, even with that change, they lost the game? How do you guys feel?
Well, definitely disappointed because they played EU Masters like legit 2 months ago.
Yeah.
So how can you go
Like,
from
what happened?
almost qualifying EU Masters to being 0-3 after 3 matches? Sounds really weird, and maybe they like brighter side from them will come in the next matches or something. And yeah, that mid lane change actually didn't impact that much. I mean, Corki didn't play as catastrophic as that Cassio did, but still not that influential performance from him. He did die, I mean, 3 or 4 times if I'm not wrong, and I mean, he did play Corki, so he needed time to scale, he needed time to be good, but eventually that did not happen, and Corki so far didn't leave much of an leave a good impression so far.
Yeah, we'll see if he can come online in the next matches. We'll go ahead and take a look at the scoreboard standings. Let's see how does it look like. It's pretty much 5 Kings are the kings of this scoreboard, I would say. They are 3-0. They don't even have a lose on them. And then Iron Wolves that won today, 2-1, just for fun, also winning their game. And then we have Team Infamous and Estonian Vipers that won 1 game, and then Kenty, the last team, 0-3. It's funny because in the EBL we have the same situation, but we had the same situation at one point where one team was like 4-0 and the last team was 0-4. Now we have the same situation here, 3-0 and 0-3. Sino, do you think 5 Kings are on the roll based on how they play. And do you see anyone stepping on their toe and like taking a game from them?
Well, I feel like it was going to be anyone. It's Iron Wolves, but again, they had a huge lead and they just threw it in the mid lane, in the jungle. I feel like Iron Wolves have the potential to beat them, but other than that, I think it's going to be pretty difficult for anybody. So I think Five Kings, again, they're playing really good. They have good compositions, small mistakes in optimization here and there, but overall, I think this is the most impressive performance we've seen out of any team in the Baltic Masters.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see if they go to playoffs. They definitely should, with this performance, leave out and go to the group stage. Guys, thank you for tonight. We'll see each other again tomorrow, of course. Before we say goodbye, we're going to go and take a look what we have in store for us tomorrow. Tomorrow at 9 o'clock, we start again with Iron Wolves and Just for Fun. I think that's the best match that we're gonna have tomorrow. Then Estonian Vipers team Infamous, and then last but not least, Five Kings playing against Kenty. We'll see how that's gonna turn out. Ladies and gentlemen, this was our third round of Baltic Masters, day 3. We saw 3 games being played here. Some of them were not that exciting, but some of them were really fun to watch. We saw some different kinds of picks, and we even saw that Kog'Maw mid that's definitely in meta right now. Tune in again tomorrow, 9 o'clock. Have a good night.